swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead.
Hi there. They call me the governor, and I'm here with these fine folks to talk about the ones who live. And before we get into that, of course, I want to go around and have these fine folks introduce themselves. So why don't we start out with Joy, who's actually the first one here, besides me. That's true. She just disappeared. All right. Let's move down to Bebe. Wamido. All right, Karina. That's weird. Hold on, I will make an adjustment. Yeah, they can hear me, but they can't hear you guys. Well, that's a totally different. I think they might be able to hear me, but hold on, guys. We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Let me remove that, add that. All right, we're going to go with phase 2, because since that's not working, we're going to go for sorry guys, we're getting this figured out. Yeah, that is very weird. No, I just think yep. Oh. All right, Zoom is acting.
baby back to back to back to back to back. For every year he been gone, they finna have literally 7 kids.
It was probably just me. It I'm trying. I'm doing my best here.
Right? How dare they disrespect Denai's individual episode?
Right, come on.
CRM.
All right. We should be able to hear you now.
What, testing
Hello?
1, 2, 3?
1 2
Hello.
1 2 1 2 testing.
Test,
1
test,
2 1
test.
2.
No, for real.
Can
Mic
y'all
check.
hear?
Governor, you should have been throwing ads in
Right.
while they was waiting.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
I think people need to give me a ton of super chats so we can get a better,
It's gone again.
Hey,
a better
watch.
system.
Ethan said it's gone again. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
Oh, wait. He said it came back again.
Oh.
You know what?
We here. Yes.
I see a bunch
Okay,
of
it's working.
Texas.
I
think
hear
we're
y'all.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
We had to do an introduction
right.
again.
You gotta do an
40
intro
people
again.
in the friggin' chat, and they couldn't hear us except for me, because I'm the.
We just got an ad. They can't catch a break.
All right.
Chat going through it.
All right. It looks like Joy, you're gonna have to introduce yourself again.
Okay. Are we waiting for the ad to go, or what's happening?
Just go. They'll catch up.
Okay.
This is
So, hey,
funny.
Joy from Brooklyn. So excited to be here again. Talk about the ones who live. Love Rick and Michonne. Love being here for the Michonne-centric episode. Check me on Twitter and at Joyful First and noirnerdy.com.
All right. Sweet. Now, baby.
Hey, Baby Rose. Y'all can check me out on Instagram, Twitter under @dem_mayhem, and I cannot wait to talk about last night's episode with our girl, our queen, our everything, the Michonne.
Karina.
Hello, I'm Karina, also known as Tootie Taurus on Twitter. I am overjoyed
Mm.
to talk about our babies.
I was gonna
We
say
got 'em
on the
back,
screen you
y'all.
were not
We got 'em back.
overjoyed.
And they're not over, but we got our babies back, so let's talk about it.
Tomaj.
Y'all know me, Tamaj from Big Bro Lil Sis Reacts, Walking Dead Universe Reactor. Let's get into it. Reshone, come on now.
Yes.
All right. Let's go with Michond.
I am going to continue to reiterate that A Love Story is my favorite thing in life to watch, and Walking Dead is my favorite show. They made this epic love story for me. You can't tell me shit. I don't need nothing else out of TV.
And Alex, aka TWD Mombie.
Hello, everybody. It's nice to see you. I am on Instagram and YouTube at the name TWD Mombie, and I am a Walking Dead reactor. I'm very, very excited to be here tonight to talk about this Michonne episode. Let's go.
All right. And of course, I am the governor, and you've been listening to my voice way too much and not everybody else's because of the technical difficulties. I don't know what the heck happened. I just updated my OBS, and now it gives me a problem.
It's real.
Yeah, pain in the ass. But, yeah, I'm very interested in talking about this episode. I have questions and thoughts and observations. Even, and I'm getting to like Michonne, even though, she did stab me in the back, kill my daughter. She owes me a penny, all that stuff. But let's get into this.
Owes me a penny.
Because when we saw her last, was in actually the TWD finale, and she was like helping some people out, or was that like her? I don't know.
13.
That was
She
13.
She had just left to go look for Rick, and that was when she ran into King Batch, and that was the last time we saw her.
Yeah.
After the whole Virgil thing.
Yeah.
And now we get a follow-up on her helping out those people.
Yeah, this guy's had a broken ankle for like 4 years.
What's his
Poor
name?
guy.
King Batch, King Botch, King Bach, King Dad.
Batch,
King,
Okay,
King Batch.
because his name is Andrew Batchelor.
Yeah. He did good.
He
I never knew his
did.
real
He
name.
did. You
Let me tell you something. He one of them people that turned that internet fame into some real jobs, real paper.
I used to watch him on Vine.
Me too.
He
crazy.
was in a movie. He was in a movie called The Babysitter, and I thought he was. When I saw it, he was funny though. But I thought he was great in that. I'm like, you know what? He needs to be in acting more. So to see him on The Walking Dead, I'm just like, dude, you can do drama if you want to. Get them coins if you want to. Okay.
Well, hopefully he's in here watching because I talked to him earlier today and sent him the link. So holler.
Come on.
Did you send him the link to the Zoom? Because that'd be cool.
Dude.
I didn't have the Zoom link.
Well, you have it now. Yeah, I thought. So we basically start out with Michonne telling who she is and explaining to the worst Karen in the apocalypse who she is and everything. And this woman does not want to hear about her quest to go find Rick. She's just like, hey, you're a warrior woman. You should join us. Thoughts on that interaction? Just
I got a
give
lot
her
of thoughts.
Fucking horse.
I got a
she
lot of
sucked.
thoughts. Let me tell you something. If you were to see Michonne and get that deny energy, you'll be like, girl, stay with us. Like, where's she going? Like, she's magnetic. Everywhere she go, everybody want to keep her. And she's like, no, like, for real. I got somewhere I need to be. Like, I'm not playing. And she like, no, you can stay. Like, she was damn near not taking no for an answer until Nat came in and cussed her out.
He sure did.
But yeah,
He got shit done.
cussed her out.
Giving her that horse. She got the pick of her horse.
Her offer for Michonne to stay, Elle's offer for Michonne to stay, doesn't make sense either way, because you clearly see she's someone who's willing to help people, and your group is not that. So you continually offering her to stay with you doesn't make any sense. You knew that eventually, if she stayed, your
Gonna
philosophy
leave.
would clash. Yeah.
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 They leave everybody behind, which is kind of a waste.
I don't
I
know.
do
'cause
want to
she-
quickly
right, and it's
shout
like-
out Ms. Kayla gave a $5 super thanks so much.
Thank you, Miss Kayla.
I will put it towards a better software for streaming
Right.
so we don't run into these problems again.
I was gonna say Michonne just being who she is, it benefits her all the time, getting that good karma, because she was just doing what she would do for anybody. She not thinking that this girl is the sister of the leader of a group she gonna need some help from that she running into. She not even thinking about that, but that good karma just always come back to her. Love
Yeah,
that.
Elle
Though
kind of
there was a time when she was, after the whole kid fiasco and her going Anakin on all those children.
No, that
you
was
know,
different. She
Yeah.
was
They
trying not
deserved
to,
it.
Yeah.
she was trying real hard not to kill them
Hard.
kids. She gave
But-
them kids more grace than I would have gave them. They
Well,
running at
no.
her trying to stab her in her
Exactly.
pregnant stomach, and she fighting them kids off.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
And
Walking
still
Dead has
offering-
the worst
still
kids
offering
I've
to
ever
take them
seen.
Back home.
They
And
are
Fucking
still
kids.
offering to take them back to Alexandria. I would take them little murderers back home to my community.
not a little
No,
murder.
Mind you, took Judith and everything. Had that lady stressed out, pregnant, running around with Daryl getting branded like a farm animal. Shit was crazy. But yeah.
I thought it was weird how
If he
she
smells like
said.
a farm animal.
Mhm.
I thought it was weird how she said that you saved my sister's boyfriend and my sister.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Just the way she said it, it was like,
Yeah.
That lady.
Elle gave me Jenny vibes. from
Oh my
Cheers.
God, me
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
She
Yes.
gave me Jenny vibes. It's like,
Yes.
I thought we were going to get like more into their community and see how maybe Elle would turn stab, backstab and do all these little tricks and everything else. I'm like, girl, you just need to go. They slow anyway, so you can go.
just nobody dared talk to her the way they talked to her, though. That was
Yeah.
weird. It was strange to see somebody like obviously appointed head and then everybody like talking to her the way that they were, but they were like relatives. So
Yeah.
I mean, Elle don't give a flip rip about
I
her
feel like
sister.
I feel like that's a good sign. When certain people talking to you crazy, it's like, oh, okay, so you just don't kill people. You actually let people talk. So I feel like that's a good sign. Like when that came in there and was like, I'm not fucking doing this no more. I'm like, oh, okay.
Love it.
I felt like she was not listening to Michonne.
no,
She was
No,
like,
she wasn't.
She was
wanted
looking
her
at
to
her.
stay.
She was saying, "I want her part of my community." She was not listening to her. I don't care
Yeah.
who you have to
At
go
all.
see. You should join our community. Which, how does that even fucking work? I mean,
I don't know.
they basically move if someone falls behind. They don't go back for them.
No.
But which is fucked up as it is. But how they don't have any farming. So how do they survive? They have to scavenge all that food, but eventually, you know, unless they're sending out hunters and stuff like that. But then you got, you know, all the game is being scared away by the biters. So I don't know how. You know, sometimes I wonder about how the writers they come up with an idea and they're like, oh, but how will they eat? They don't even think about that. They just.
And it looks like they had like an actual setup. She was sitting in there. They had chairs lined up.
Yeah.
It looked like, I'm like, what do the food stores look like? But I don't know.
I mean, they did find a nice store later on, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Untouched. Can you believe it?
Yeah, it was a very nice store.
It was
I like,
completely
I'm gonna
untouched.
shop in there.
Yeah.
The bed in the store was still made up. Completely
So,
untouched.
did anybody else
that
kind of
usually is
wish
hard
that
as
we
hell.
could have gone along with them to see what it was like to be with that group for a little while? Like they're always completely mobilized. And they're so big. Remember when we saw them over that cliff and how many people they had in their group? It was like,
yeah, but
how-
see,
how
really
can
and
they-
truly,
I
how
thought
can
some of
they
them was
constantly
really and
be
truly, I didn't
traveling
even
like
care for
that?
him. Really and truly, I didn't even care for him. Even Michonne's last episode, you know, seeing them, I'm like, okay, you know.
You
Yeah,
know,
they serve no purpose. They don't want to help nobody.
it was really just, it was Nat for me.
Yes.
I had a
My
whole
TV best
fantasy. I had a whole fantasy in my head. I said Nat and Eugene finna go stupid. They finna make all kind of shit. I had a whole fantasy in my head.
I
That's
think
not
their
funny, Joy.
community is good if you're like on the road and you find them and you need to get yourself together and then go on your way. I think they're good for that.
Yeah.
But other like long term,
Yeah.
y'all not gonna help me if I need it. And
Yeah.
nah.
Well, Black Cat says they could probably find a way to grow plants on some of the wagons and stuff, but the amount of acreage you need to just feed one person, I don't think
Yeah.
they keep that in mind. Having a little, you know, vegetable garden on the back of a wagon isn't going to do it. You're going to get, you know, a few tomatoes, you know, and stuff, and it's not going to last you too long. So
It was cute
yeah.
to find out why they were where they were too when Michonne found them.
Yeah.
Looking
Yeah.
Honey, she's getting honey for her honey.
That's what I just assume that they, you know, even though they're a moving caravan, that they stop, you know, long enough in certain places to scavenge. There's crews that go off, but if you don't come back within the time that we're going to start moving, then you're left.
Without you.
Literally, that's why her sister and them was getting left because
Yeah.
it was time to go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
But again,
yeah.
the scavenging, it just seems after a while we're, 12 years into the apocalypse? At this point, all the food that's canned food has either been already scavenged or is bad. Except for the honey, of course, because honey doesn't go bad, apparently.
It doesn't.
And,
it
good
lasts
to know.
forever. It doesn't.
Yeah, it's definitely good to know. But,
I don't think I want to live on honey though.
yeah, all the other, you know, consumables, you know, are probably bad. So now at this point, you know, they have to do hunting and scavenging for plants, edible plants, and
The people that will do well are the people that know how to identify, especially being in the South. If you look out into a field, there might be a field of wheat. Do you know how to harvest wheat? Do you know how to grind it? Do you know how to actually make bread? Or like, you could literally walk past something that used to be somebody's garden and you can't tell it's a garden because it's completely overgrown. But if you know how to identify plants, you can make some shake. You
Hear from Michonne, y'all.
You
Well,
just gotta
the thing
know.
is, you got that many
That was
people
another
to feed.
reason why Nat. They said that Nat says he's the one who kept them running. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
he knew some things about, besides just the weaponry.
Yeah.
You knew
Oh,
all the-
and they in the South, all of them woods. You know how many different kind of mushrooms they can forage? Boy, they can get, depending on the season, boy, they can get chanterelles, reishi, they can get all kind of shit. They
Well,
just
they
gotta know-
mentioned getting up through Delaware, so
Yeah.
they were probably in Maryland, somewhere around there. I don't know how
Not
South
the DMV.
Maryland is.
Mhm.
But yeah, it all makes sense because Michonne just left Virginia. So
Mhm.
Like,
Literally
okay.
in the DMV. I never thought about that.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So
I
yeah,
thought it
moving
was
up
so
from
cute when they
Delaware.
were on the back of that trailer and Nat was like, okay, I guess you can leave. And then the way that they were like bantering and they made her smile and she's like, okay, I'll stay for one night.
Mhm.
I thought that was so
That
cute.
was cute.
It was.
It was definitely had a lighter tone at first than
Yes.
the previous episode.
Yeah.
Previous episode was Rick cutting his hand off in like the first 5 minutes, and it's like,
I still can't believe it.
They really made us love these people.
I did not
right away.
think we was gonna ever get to see comic book Rick, especially once they did it to Aaron. I'm like, oh, okay, Aaron got it. What? I still can't believe.
Well, it was
cut his
it's
hand
Rick, it's Aaron, it's Lydia, and it's Merle. They all
Literally.
Elton. And
all
Elton.
got their hand.
Ain't it something?
they're all in the one
Except
hand.
And
Merle was
Alicia.
the right hand. I'm pretty sure Merle's was his right hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, how many they kill horses? We gonna lose hands now?
Oh, R.I.P. Buttons.
Yeah. That first one.
Yeah, I did like the fact that they took the finest horse from, the leader of the community.
From
It's
Elle.
like, it's my
Took
sister's-
her horse.
It's like, it's my sister's horse. Can't wait to tell her. Yeah, there was a lot of banter, and I definitely liked these folk.
It's like, oh,
It
they're
was-
real people.
Yeah, they had personalities. They weren't, I mean, they had a realistic view of the world, but they weren't too traumatized. So,
Mm-hmm.
And you trust them right off the bat too. That's
Yeah.
unlikely when you
Yeah.
meet characters. You don't trust them. But with
Yeah.
these many
Right.
people, you just like
The
I can
energy
kick
was
it with them.
good.
This is cool.
now what
I
was the
trust you.
inventor's
They had,
name?
they were in that caravan that left people behind. So you were like, like it's a little funny, it's a little tricky with that, but you still liked them immediately, and you were like, oh, okay. I hope good things happen.
I didn't want to
Michonne
trust
was
it.
trying to move quick. Like she was like, "Listen, y'all don't want to give me a horse. That's cool. I'll be on my way."
Yeah,
And
I'm
she
out.
started to get
Yeah.
up, and
See ya.
but yeah,
And
Nat
considering
saved the
the
day.
attitudes of most of the people you run into during the apocalypse, I mean, they had to be like, what the hell is this? Because most people are like, they'll steal. They don't care about anyone else. They wouldn't stop to help anyone. So, Michonne is different than most of the people that they probably have run into
Yep.
on the road. I'm sure there's been a few who have said, "Oh, I'll join your community," and then they run off with shit.
Yeah.
So
I didn't want to trust them right away, but I did. I really didn't want to. I was like, I like it here with them. Like, obviously, I want to leave, but like the energy was good. I was like, okay, because it always be feeling a little weird or like a little. We got to get used to them. It was like she eased right on in. They like, girl, you could stay a night, and she was like, okay, that's fine. The energy was
It's like, we
so
got
what
a
was the
man,
inventor's
we
name?
got
The guy who was the inventor. What was
Nat.
his name?
Nat.
Nat. When he
I
came in and he
really-
was like, "It was your sister," and then he was like, "Holy shit!"
How he
That
didn't
was
see
funny.
her when she walked in though confused me. I was like,
He
there's
didn't
all
even
those
look
people
to
and
the
walked
left.
right past
I
them.
think he came through the side door. There was
He
like a
came
side
through the
door.
side door and
And he
stumped
was
right up to the
focused on
desk.
screaming.
He
Yeah.
stumped right up to the desk. He didn't even look at the room.
Look, when you angry,
Oh,
you don't
wait.
look at Aaron.
Right, he came in and was ready to cuss people out.
Oh yeah.
One thing that I realized halfway through the episode was that I missed the first scene of the episode. There was like that walker with the gas tanks on it.
The gas
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I like hit the skip intro or whatever.
Oh.
And
Intro. Why you skipping
Yeah.
intros?
I just wanted to get into the episode.
Joy said,
Wow.
But yeah, it skipped it, and I didn't
Did
have
you
any
see the
idea.
title
So when
card
that
for
scene,
the episode?
do what?
The
Did you
title
see the
card.
title card for the episode?
I mean, usually skip intro will just do the, you know, the
No, it
lovey-dovey.
said,
In sync, gone.
yeah, and I
That's
don't
the
remember.
title.
I don't remember. But when that scene came up, I was just like, "What the hell is going on? Why did he have all that gas around his neck?"
mm-hmm.
And then afterward, when I was editing, I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't even see that scene."
Yeah.
Obviously, he was someone who was out scavenging for fuel, found some, and then got bit or something on the way back. And then just happened to catch on fire when, you know, Michonne did her little fireworks display.
Yeah, and then
Did you
we see her in all that
when
armor.
she shot
Oh my
the
god!
weapon, it went through him.
Mhm.
So that's what caught him on fire as it went through when she shot to the left side.
Yeah.
hmm And then when she was like, "What are screaming sticks?" I was like, "Yeah, what are screaming sticks?"
Yeah, scream stick.
I love how they called the walkers the wailing.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Wait, I missed
That's-
that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
I wanna-
because it's from the tri-state area, of course. They're like
Oh,
there was a massive because there's so many people who live in the city that when the people turned, it became a giant mass, and they call it the wailing, and they said it migrates north
They
and
didn't
south.
say that, right? Because I
Yeah,
heard
they
some
said-
okay.
When they
And
were
they said
talking
they're-
about the migration.
They said they're 5
Okay.
miles wide.
Wide.
I said,
Yeah.
Jesus. Please.
That's why I tweeted and I said, yeah, if the Royal Falls, me and my kid are getting the hell up out of here. I love the rest of my family, but we got to go.
Because, girl,
I'm getting out of the city.
we have never seen that many walkers at once ever. I said, that's over 1 million people. It said it got to be. I said, that's like 1 million
Yeah.
people.
Well, when you get up to the northeast of the U.S.,
You
population
know how wide
density is
5
quite
miles
good.
is?
Yep.
So
Crazy.
you got a lot of
And you know
potential
what? And
debtors.
when you think about it, that's what's worked for the CRM this whole time to help keep them hidden.
It's working to hers, yeah.
Because anybody coming up from the south, more than likely is going to run into that, and they're not going to
Yep.
make it through to make it up to them.
Mhm.
Yep.
I
Turn
wonder
right around.
I wonder what Michonne started. You know, in her interview at the end of her episode or whatever. I might be getting mixed up, but I wonder what she said the name of the walkers were when he told her.
That's
not
what
to
I was curious about that, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to jump ahead.
because we didn't get to hear it.
Wait, what'd you
Probably gonna
say?
call him Waylon.
Remember
Because-
when Rick was like, "Don't
Rick
call them
told her to
walkers,"
call
because that's what I
them.
call them.
Yeah.
She
They
probably
didn't
gonna-
They didn't say.
She gonna call him
Yeah.
Waylon.
Yeah.
She
gonna
was
say that.
already
Yeah,
she
because-
was she
Well,
was
she
already
could've
talking
called
like
him.
Nat. She was
Yeah.
already talking like Nat in the interview. She was like, know
Yeah.
when to go. She had her script
Mhm.
together. You hear me? And
She
then
used
being
little pieces that she got from all of them because
Yes.
she says that her sister's name is Elle.
Yep.
She says to know when to go. She says that we were with the boyfriend. Yeah, she used
The
little
boyfriend, yeah.
pieces of that she got from all of them that
Yep.
she met at that moment. So she probably did call them the wailing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
had her script
To
together.
show that, you know, she's carrying them with her.
Yeah, with her
I love
to
that.
make what happens later more impactful, so you understand why her
I
vengeance.
didn't hear her say it. That's for sure.
But
Yeah.
but that is jumping ahead. Obviously, we want to get to the part where, you know, she's faced with the horde. She gets knocked off by a head.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, there goes the horse. And then, just like the Red Sea, they part because
You know I made that joke in my reaction. I tried so
Yeah.
hard and I had to do it.
I
must
did
have
not
watched
make that
every
joke in my
reaction say that
reaction, but I'm
part
saying
of
it
the Red
now.
Sea.
It's
I was like, "What are
Let
those
my
purple
people
fires?
go.
No, for real. It said, doom, doom. The motherfucker said. I said,
Loved it.
and that
ain't
was
never
interesting flames. But they were
Yeah.
like,
purple.
Yeah.
That be mixing all kind of shit together.
He's just like, yeah, just some chemicals I pick up from here, there. You put them
Literally,
together.
like it's nothing. It's in my wagon.
he's
It's nothing.
basically a pyromaniac, but, you know, you use his powers for
dragging
good.
with us the whole time,
Basically.
like, oh, I don't need to sleep near that. Like, put that in the field, someplace far away. Like, why is that near us?
He can make
I'm
some-
like, we needed this shit during the Whisperer War. Nat, where have you been all our
Thank
lives?
you.
Right.
To come up with this.
he
Mind
makes
you,
shit.
because you think of the timeline, the reason that Michonne can't reach the kids on the walkie is because the Whisper War is still going on.
I said that in my reaction. Yep.
And that's
I said
why
they out there
she-
fighting right now.
Yeah, they're still
Judith
out there
and
fighting, and they're running to what was that? The hospital. They go barricade themselves in to start the fight. So that's
Yep.
why she can't raise the kids on the walkie.
And that's why she keeps saying Alexandria and not Commonwealth, because she
Yeah.
don't even.
She don't have
Right.
any
Know about
idea.
Commonwealth.
That's a whole nother conversation. Is Commonwealth. Oh, wait till she find out that bitch shot Judith. She gonna go in that jail cell and whoop her ass.
Oh, and as much as I want him to have a baby, I hope that they go back and see Judith, just them first. Judith and RJ and the parents, and then later on,
Then she
make
can
a
get
baby.
preggers.
Got a
Hope
baby.
so.
She could be pregnant on the way to the
Literally.
Amen.
Say
Amen.
something. Do y'all not remember Rick and Michonne vacation when they had to go get all them guns for Negan?
I just
Yeah.
don't want her to fight the CRM
7-12.
because we don't need to have a miscarriage.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, hold up.
That
I
ain't
mean,
gonna,
if Star showed us anything, she can handle. You know, she's
Rick
very.
ain't gonna risk it. Rick ain't gonna
She has
risk
good endurance.
Well, yeah, but if you get pushed down or you fall down something, it doesn't matter how strong you are. Doesn't matter how good a
That's
fighter
true.
you are.
True.
it. I don't
Oh.
think
Wow,
she's
Al,
gonna get pregnant
you
until
are
So
she about it.
depressing now.
I'm like, damn, Alex.
Let's not increase the Grimes family clan. quite
Hypothesizing, I'm
yet.
sorry.
No, they not.
I-
They just start kissing.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna get horizontally mobile quite for a little bit. I don't know if soldiers and consignees often mingle.
I'm sure they do. They just be on the low because people be fucking. Especially the ones that got some pull and they in charge. If they got some pull, they could literally act like they having a meeting.
Yep.
It seemed like everybody mind their business there, though, other than
Because
Thor. But
90%
Other
of
than
the
Thor,
army, 90% of the army don't know what the fuck that the army be doing, and 100% of the citizens don't know.
Right.
Don't nobody know nothing each other be doing.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that wonderful helicopter visit from the CRM.
Let me tell you something.
That pissed me off.
That is a gift from God. Because how you can make shit that could blow up in different colors, you can make weapons that look like a fucking harpoon that can shoot a helicopter out the sky and blow that bitch up. Boy, him and Eugene would have went crazy.
And that
Yeah,
pissed
but
me-
I'm talking about the
but that
first
pissed me
encounter,
off.
which did
Yeah.
not go quite so well for.
With the
yeah.
chlorine gas.
yes,
yeah,
yeah.
that pissed me off so bad. You meant to tell me you're gonna fly out, and then you see the people. Then you're gonna turn around and you're gonna
Yes.
drop the chlorine gas.
You know who that was? That was Okafor.
telling you, I believe it too.
That's why
I
I'm
wouldn't
I
be
thought he
surprised.
wanted the CRM to change.
Yeah, but he was
Okay.
one of those soldiers that always went out. He wore red, so he always
Yeah.
went out and killed people.
And Rick literally
Rick kind of
told
revealed that later on
Michonne.
in the episode.
Rick literally
Yeah.
told Michonne, the ones that wear red, they come back covered in blood.
And we seen
Oh, yeah.
Okafor like that in the first episode.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
that
I
was-
wouldn't be surprised.
He killed his own wife. Please do not put anything past this man.
Exactly.
Well,
But
he
they
ain't,
said that
he
was
ain't
the
killing
whole
anyone
thing.
else
The
again.
CRM always does. Anybody who got too close to Philly, they would get rid of them. So it's like, okay, yeah, it checks all out there.
Which I don't see why they wouldn't capture them and, sort the A's from the B's, and because if they had captured them, Nat would be
Most of them
a
be B's.
perfect addition to the
For real.
CRM because he's a demolitions expert. He's basically a chemical engineer. He's got
Literally.
all these
No,
skills.
but remember,
I think-
we're
And then
already
it's
when we
wasted.
get to that point when Michonne and her group gets gassed. That's around the same time that Omaha is happening. So
Yeah.
they were already in the plan that we learned from.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
W-
timeline.
Yeah, we already know from like the WB that that they had a plan already. They already were getting rid of Omaha. The next plan was to get rid of Portland.
Yeah.
They were in the process. They called it Operation Botus. They were in the the process of eliminating people because they said that they were all going to be a drain on the CRM.
Yeah.
So that's what, again, when we get further in, when Dana gets in, is surprising because they're at the point where they're kind of like really not letting anybody in anymore. So they're probably, the people that they're letting in just to cover the consignees that they need to work, to do the grunt work. But they're figuring that those people aren't going to make it past the 6 years of consigneeship to make it into become a citizen anyway.
I want to know how many fucking citizens is in there where they go bomb tens of thousands of people.
What is it, like 400,000? Joy, I know they said it in World Beyond. It was a lot.
100,000 or something like that.
Yeah, I remember 100,000.
Yeah, I think
Okay, maybe it was 100.
I'm like, damn, not just skipping almost 500,000. Damn.
Yeah, I remember
it was a big number. About, Nat's backstory.
Yeah,
because Omaha had how many? Was it 40?
No, Omaha was 97,000.
I feel like CRM would have to be bigger than them, though.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's why
that's the whole thing that was their whole thing that Elizabeth says in World Beyond that they had crunched the numbers and then they realized that the CRM was like self-sufficient. Portland and Omaha needed help. So that was their reasoning of getting rid of them because they were like, oh, they're going to drain our resources to keep them alive. And they
crazy because you could have just cut them off.
Mind you, they have no fucking clue where the CRM is.
Right, that's why I said they could just cut them off.
Number two, don't cut them off.
They say that
blow
too.
them up.
They say the reason also that they could just cut them off is because eventually anarchy would fall when those communities fell, which would then blow back on the CRM. So that was their rationale of why, we'll just use them to run the experiments that what's her name? Layla Belshaw was doing. So the chlorine gas that they're dropping is mixed with the algae that she put with it because they were supposed to be testing to see if you don't turn as quickly with the additive that she put in it, which we clearly don't see that shit does not work because everybody in Michonne's caravan is like dead almost instantly.
No, when I tell you,
did you see the walker though?
When they turned around, I said,
yeah,
it was.
I have a feeling that walker was one that got hit by one of those bombs at one point though.
Yeah.
Because it was
oozing. Amani says we kind of skipped over Nat's backstory, which was, basically.
Yeah, it's during that same moment there.
It was literally right before
the
they got blown up, having this good old conversation. You know how Walker did like pull the rug out from under you.
Yeah, because they did that to throw you off because Bailey's character, he says when they pull up, he's like, oh, because they're like, why did we stop? And he's like, oh, something's blocking the road. So that lets us know the CRM blocked the road purposely so they can trap people there to bomb them. And during that time is where we get distracted with Nat's story, so we don't realize that that's what's coming for us.
And they probably fly that route all the time. That's why they would just do. Oh, people, let me get them real quick.
You're like, oh,
crazy, Buster, you in a helicopter, crazy.
But it's kind of crazy though because I watched your reaction to mine. And I thought the same thing when they went into that mall. I'm like, isn't that the same setting from the World Beyond?
I thought so too with the escalators.
The escalators in the background.
Yeah, and I was like this place looked very familiar. I was like, this looked like World Beyond Mall right here. I was like, that's very interesting.
But if you've been in one mall, you kind of been in a mall.
Not really.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but they shot it in two different places because World Beyond, where did they shoot that at again? But the parts for Michonne's story where they're in the mall, that's shot in a part of
Jersey.
Yeah, it's a part of the mall that's in Jersey that still hasn't been completed. So they use that side of the mall. It's that big giant mall that's in Jersey. I forgot what it's called again, but yeah,
because I only thought that because like I know they were close to the CRM, that's why they got bombed.
Yeah.
But then I know the kids in season 2 they got taken to one of the CRM's research labs. So I figured it was somewhat close, maybe. So I was like, maybe just timeline's not lining up right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be a cool Easter egg though, but we would need them to confirm it.
That research lab, are you talking about the one that Silas went to?
Yep.
Yeah, that was more country, wasn't it? That wasn't in the city.
Right, it was. It was on on the outskirts, but it couldn't have been too far because Beebe's kid was there. So he
Almost
ain't
like
gonna
they
have his
might have
son,
passed it on their way
too
in
far.
or something.
The fact that I don't even remember the World Beyond kids' names, it
Yeah.
shows how much I
Was
care.
one of them named Elliot?
No,
Elijah?
Elton.
Elton.
Oh, Elton. Okay. I know.
Earlier than you guys were saying that.
One was
I
Hope.
think
One
it's
One
Charles
was
by
Hope,
Elton.
right? One was
Hope,
Hope.
Elton.
If we all wait.
Elton.
If we all put our brains together, we can name all of them.
I know all of them.
I know all of them.
I don't.
Like,
I don't.
Silas, right?
I watched every
Yeah.
episode one time, and face was stale the whole
I,
time.
I've watched the first season and I watched the first episode of the second season, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get back to this eventually.
Well, season 2 is when it started to get good.
Jada's made Silas her protege.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm expecting to see him, honestly.
He better be on there.
Me too.
Yep, in the later
I
half of
think
the
we're
show.
gonna have multiple crossovers.
Oh yeah.
They already told us before
If
that
not
we're
this
going to see
season,
the World
next
Beyond kids. They're just, and they're tied to this storyline. So at some point, they're going to start popping up. So I think Silas will be the first just because he's going to be with Jadis.
Yeah.
It just
We've
depends
kind of
on-
gotten
Which one is
off
Silas?
track. Can we bring it back to this episode?
He's the one with the long
So
hair.
Nat is the active whatever. Like,
I wonder how long
Like-
it took them to get better. Like the timeline between the time
Girl,
that
they
About
was
a
there
year.
for months. Did you see
they
the?
were there for a year.
They were there for
Yeah.
years because you actually saw
it's
on
a
the
year.
glass.
They're there for
No,
a
they
year.
were there for a year. I thought because we saw the leaves falling, we saw the skylight iced over, we saw the sun
Yeah.
shining. I said they didn't went through every other season in this mall.
Yeah, but that's
It's a year
Ohio.
that they're there.
How much food did they have with them? How much food is in a furniture store?
They were in an untouched mall. It
Yeah.
was. They probably went to the food court.
Like Dawn of
Plus,
the
they
Dead.
had probably went back and got some of the supplies from their caravan.
Yeah, I imagine that two people could live off the supplies from.
Yeah, from all the
But
people.
also,
All
what's
the
shocking is if the CRM put traps up there to hold people so they could bomb them, then why weren't they actively going through there and killing people that they saw left behind?
Because they're like,
They don't give a
we-
fuck.
yeah, they don't
You don't
care.
think anybody
They probably
lived through
figured
that?
they would die from the chlorine gas
Yeah.
Yeah.
eventually.
They-
Michonne's just slightly
And if
stronger
anybody
than the
survives
average
that,
human.
are they going to continue to go in that same direction that they were going? You're going to say, let me get the hell up out of here.
Also, Michonne was like the only one that ran at first. Everybody was just standing there looking, and she was already running.
Mhm.
So
Well,
she
some of
didn't-
them ran the opposite way, which
Yeah.
that was counterproductive.
You're running towards it. So yeah,
You're like, you're running towards it. What are you doing?
she was the farthest away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But,
I said
yeah,
scatter
backstory.
like a second before she did.
Yeah. But I was
But
like,
the-
that backstory
Yeah, but the death.
was,
Uh,
I love his backstory. I love that they didn't shy away from the fact that the actor Matthew Jeffers is a little person, and so they
Yeah.
used that in his story about being bullied and how he turned his gifts nearly went destructive.
And his stepdaddy was a real daddy. Shout out to his
one-
stepdaddy
Yep.
Yeah,
for nurturing his gifts. I said that was a real man. That was
Yeah.
a real man. Shout
Yeah,
out to
They
him.
did such a good job writing for his character for one
Yeah.
episode. Like,
He worked with Denai.
I know,
So
and they
she already knew what she was doing. I said,
Mhm.
But
Like,
still,
no wonder.
It was amazing that they were able to find oxygen tanks. I mean, you would have think the CRM would have gone through and scavenged them for themselves anything.
the CRM is making everything.
Yeah,
they need from
I'm sure they
scratch.
got factories.
They got
and stuff.
CRM crew necks with the goddamn three rings
Exactly.
on
And
the
then they
front.
have depots that
They're
they stock.
making-
They have
Everything.
CRM fashion shows.
Yeah.
yeah.
We're talking
No,
about
for this summer. The
Fuck
very
off
light
grid.
bulletproof vest with a very
Fuck-
fancy
literally.
color.
Fuck off grid. They have their own grid. Like they make everything they need.
Yeah, and then they have the depots set up everywhere. So
Yeah.
Let me
that's
tell
where
you
they
some-
stop. I don't think they
Yeah.
stop.
But
So do you
Let me tell
think
you
that this mall was still stocked because people usually never made it that far to the mall because the
And it
serum
looked like
was
a
killing
small
them off.
town, so
Yeah.
small population.
It literally looked like a
overstocked.
small town. Yeah.
Yeah.
The street that they were walking down, for some reason, it reminded me of a Western, even though it's clearly not a Western, but that's just what the road gave me when they was walking down that
There's
little
a lot
road.
of shit gone down there. You could just tell.
Yeah.
And then they probably haven't had, because if, like Bailey said, that the whaling came from the tri-state area, people probably, they're like, I'm not even gonna go in that area. By the time, like, if that huge 5 mile wide set of walkers is coming towards you, you're not stopping in any of those areas to scavenge. You're trying to get up out of there if you survive it in the first place. So that would leave a lot of supplies left around in city.
And think about it. It's like, yeah, you go in that mall, you're like, woo, I got all this shit. And you look out the glass and there's 100,000 walkers outside. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You might as well pick which one of them beds you want to lay on because you're not going anywhere.
And I got
Well, I
really
guess-
emotional when Michonne looked at Bailey and said, find something to tie her to the bed with. And don't fall
Yeah.
asleep to her.
I hated
I
that.
was just,
That
Yeah,
look that
she
he
was
gave
inviting
her.
them to Alexandria. You know, we're gonna bring them in, make them family. You know, they would have been.
And mind
so
you, she
perfect.
told Aiden to go. She said, here's the
Yeah.
map.
She
Go
did.
back and
She
be
did.
there.
And he
But
would've
I
been
love
alive.
that they wouldn't abandon her and that they was
Yeah,
like,
I
no, we're
loved
gonna
it,
see this
yeah.
too. Like, we left our crew for you. We're not gonna just leave you.
Yeah.
Like, I love
after all that, I was like, man, I really hope nothing happens to them.
Yeah.
Right, I
Come
know.
back
But I'm
and then-
like, that's Michonne's power. Like, she inspires people. Like, she brings people together, much like Rick.
She's
And
magnetic.
she can build a community on the damn road. Like, look
Yep.
at that.
And that's why she's the A, and that's why Rick is like, don't be you.
And she saved
You.
these fine people, and then they died anyway.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about the score for a second, because when Michonne was healing, did y'all notice that they played Rick and Michonne's theme from their final
Yeah.
episodes?
Yeah.
They did a new mix on it, and I just loved
Yeah.
it. Like,
I caught that.
they
too.
did an amazing
I
job.
did not catch that. That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and listen too.
Love it.
Yeah,
Aw.
and then I think I caught something, you know, what his Nat stepdad name is Danger, I think.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I remember in the title card that I saw the word danger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm like,
They show the lighter.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
the
like,
sequence,
oh,
yeah.
I was like, you know, usually I don't catch Easter eggs or some little, you know, because that's y'all. y'all be catching,
That's
you know,
what you guys
things.
do.
I'm like, what? I said, oh, okay. So
Oh,
if it's
you
on
need to come
trivia,
to
then I got
my
that.
my blog page. 'Cause I did like a breakdown on the title sequence, so I included that about the lighter that you see that says danger.
Because I'm like thinking, like in the title cards, are they gonna? Is it like about the episodes now? Like so,
Mhm.
like the word danger, you know, since you know the stepdad and
Yeah.
what have you. So maybe episode 3, they're gonna show like little, you know.
Mhm. I still
maps
think I
or-
put in like when I wrote the piece, I like the fact that they put that in between. There's a glimpse of Rick, and then there's a glimpse of Michonne, then there's a lighter and a glimpse of Rick. So it's, you know, kind of like put there in that place to show like, yeah, the two of them together.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh,
yeah.
makes fire. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's
They
go.
can do anything.
And he made that fire ring around himself when everybody turned into walkers.
Love that.
Yeah.
It was,
He put everybody down except for Bailey.
Oh
mhm.
gosh.
Yeah, well,
He said he just couldn't put him down.
Couldn't do it.
Terrible.
I could never.
the one
imagine.
thing I have noticed about some of the sets in The Walking Dead, they kind of skipped the part. I mean, yes, this was an abandoned mall, and everything was pretty much untouched. But you would have gotten critters in there. You would have gotten spiders. There would be webs everywhere. He didn't really, you know, they kind of ignore that kind of realism.
Oh, you wanted it to be dustier. Yeah.
There should have been dustier. There should have been
Yeah.
cobwebs. There should have been bugs. A lot of the bedding would have been rotten and chewed on by insects. You know, I mean,
Well-
it would have
Oh,
looked.
I just thought
disgusting.
about-
He can't breathe at this point. I'm like
who
I done
cares?
got this oxygen.
But also, it's
I'm
not
about to just
outside in the
collapse in this damn
elements.
bed.
It's not like it's outside in the elements. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but
two-
even then, the buildings not being maintained for like 12 years. There'd be leaks.
But what
You
if they
know.
had just built a brand new mall and it was nice, and that's why it ain't going to shit yet, because it ain't need no maintenance.
Have you heard about, nowadays they make shit that falls apart. They don't make them like they used to.
Listen, they're giving us so much stuff as quickly as they are. They weren't thinking about dust, and I'm okay with it.
Yep,
Another thing
fantasy.
about-
Let's live in fantasy.
No, wait. Another thing with the mall
There
that
is
I really
suspension
loved
of
is-
disbelief. So I
No,
understand
another
that.
thing that I really loved is one thing about Michonne, that lady's going to stay in shape. It's not even an option. That's what she does. When she was working, trying to get her lungs,
Trying to do that push up.
it made me think about when she was in the prison and she was in
Prison.
I
Yeah.
said, one thing about Michonne, she gonna stay in shape.
Yeah.
You got to be able to cut her head off at any given moment with a 4-foot sword. She stayed in shape. I loved seeing her get her lung capacity back. That was so nice.
For sure. And her strength, just because they hadn't been doing anything for a year. Like, she's stuck.
She knew
So
she
she
had
had to
nothing but
build her
time and
strength back.
space.
Yeah.
I love that.
But again, back to Nat's backstory, when he was just like, oh yeah, it's chlorine gas. It's gonna take us a while to heal if our lungs
Literally,
and-
like,
and throats
how did you
heal
know-
because-
He said it burnt their whole lungs in their throat.
Yeah, their
and
respiratory
everything.
system.
Did he say
But
he was going to use
he was
that?
like, yeah, I knew about it because I was planning on dropping that on the football team. I was like, what?
The fact that he knew what that was sent me. Yeah.
That's what I was like. You were
Like
about
I
to-
said,
you
chemical
wanted to
engineer,
drop
he
that
knows
on
his
the
shit.
football team.
I'm sure the football team was doing some crazy shit to him. He was like, I'm gonna fucking kill y'all at some point. Y'all keep trying me.
It probably
Like,
wouldn't have been
no,
as a
Nat was
large
about to
dose
walk
as
into
the
that school with a
CRM.
leather trench coat on. What's happening?
I was like, whatever he thought about doing to them, I'm sure it was warranted, but that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Nat. I'm upset.
I know. If they could have kept anybody, it should have just been him.
And that's
But I
what
get-
surprised me because I'm
It
like,
did.
oh, okay, y'all killed everybody. So I'm not thinking they finna kill him too. I said,
Yeah, I
It
was
worked
so
out
excited
for the
him to make
story, though.
Alexandria.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. For the story, it worked out because one, how would have Michonne been able to get in with him with her also? It wouldn't have flown.
Right.
The
'cause
story
somebody
would have
shot
flown.
and
Yeah,
killed
it wouldn't have
the
worked that way.
soldier.
Yeah, I kind of felt.
Plus, he needed to be there to shoot the damn helicopter down.
Yeah, because I kind of figured that out.
He really knew how to aim with that thing too. He was
made
never
it.
like directly
He's a
behind
beast.
it. He was always like to the
Yeah,
side
he
and
said he
angled
practiced
weird.
before.
It's
And
like
that's
with,
why I wonder, like, what did you practice on?
it's like with Aiden and
He
Bailey.
probably
like,
had pictures of the football team up and was shooting at them.
it's like with Aiden and Bailey. Like I knew they weren't going to make it simply because of the first episode. You know, when Rick and Michonne met, reunited. I'm like, something is going on. Something is happening because if she met these three people, well, besides Nat, I'm like, okay, Aiden and Bailey is going to die. They're not with them. So I'm
I
like,
wasn't
oh,
expecting them to live, but yeah,
yeah.
I
but
had
with
some
Nat,
hope in that.
yes, Nat, our baby.
I'm
No.
still hurt.
No.
Oh, I had a whole fantasy. I was really selling it. I said him and Eugene are just gonna go crazy. Anything in the world that they can imagine, they gonna put their heads together. It's gonna be glorious. And then it Rick and Michonne, so they got to kill everybody.
But they're
else.
not trying to keep nobody because
And I
Maggie,
love
all
that,
the good characters, they slot them.
Mhm.
Daryl's cast for the most part is making it, but I don't know if they're gonna leave France. You know,
Yeah.
Everybody
they're
in
wrong,
France.
but-
Let me tell you something.
I
Everybody.
think
in
what they're
France
trying to
got-
do is not make the same mistake they made with the main show, where everyone that they meet, they end up bringing them in, and then they end up
have
with
to tell a
too
story
large
to
of a
that.
cast.
No,
I love
it's-
the large cast.
I feel like they mostly went wrong in the other shows in the universe because they'll bring somebody in and it doesn't add a fucking thing to the story. They
Fair.
did more with the spin-offs than the mothership.
Yeah,
Fear
when
has,
you
has
had
a knack to do that.
That's why
when
I
you
didn't
had
finish
like
Fear.
Tom
Yeah,
Paine, who was not happy about his
exactly.
role in the show because they didn't really utilize him because they
We
had
should have got
so
to see
many
him
characters.
with a lot more ass.
Yep.
His ninja ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
the
they were
changing
doing
of
too
the
many
guard,
bottle
sorry,
episodes
the cats.
in 7 and 8 for me. That's why he didn't get to shine as much.
Yeah.
Because then after
I
a
think-
bottle episode, we got to get back with the group and focus on what they're doing. Like they should have just kind of evened out the screen time a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His death was the worst for me. I threw something at the television and I had to get a new TV.
Oh,
I was
God.
pissed. I was like, what? Was that real?
Hmm.
Oh, I was mad.
Yeah.
You threw something at your TV.
After that, I wasn't bad enough to throw something at my TV. But I was like,
it was like involuntary.
You just
like,
took Rick for me. I know you're not taking Jesus for me also. Yeah. Especially after you just gave me like Jaren breadcrumbs. I'm like, yeah, like, oh, they about to go cannon.
Yeah, Alex, you were never coming over to my house to watch anything.
Just don't let me have anything in my hands. We're good.
You'd find something. You'd throw the coffee table. I'm not letting you. No way. But yeah, it was a shame that it would have been nice if they'd been like, Nat, you got to get out of here. If he hadn't been shot, we'll distract
I love that there's
them.
a consensus.
I thought that it was really cool that Rick had to stop trying and
I was gonna
had
say
to go
that.
home for them to come together.
Okay, and that's what I was about to say. I forgot. I love the fact that literally as soon as Rick let go and let God, as soon as Michonne let go and let God, that attachment God, they just came right together.
Yeah.
And that man is ridiculous because he's like, you just weren't in the helicopter telling Okafor I'm in. I'm not with them.
I'm not with them. Everything I said, throw it out the window.
Because in mind you,
here.
Rick been playing it the whole time, which really it's like, Rick, you fucking police. Like you should know how to, you should have more of an edge than the average person. And instead of him, he was always trying to get away because he didn't want to get in at all. I was like, Rick, you should have pulled a Eugene and act like you was all the way with the shit. So that way you can fake your own death.
Right. That would have been one of my first moves after trying to escape.
And the people
Esteban is the one that told him that.
But remember, Rick has he's always been reluctant to do like everything. He's like, I don't want to do this. Why am I a leader? I don't want. He's always been reluctant. So to him, he probably figured going into the CRM would lock him in even more because he would have been in this hidden city. He would have much more people watching over him there because he'd be required to be places. So he probably figured that it wouldn't work for him. But then he said, all right, let me just go ahead on in like Esteban, suggested.
And it's like, no, you steady trying to escape. Nigga, they got you on a leash, Rick. They watching you more than they watching anybody.
Everybody else.
Trying to run. Like, sir.
And the people we have to thank for that is Okafor and Nat, because if they wouldn't have been in their ears, like just stop, just give in, just do it, just figure it out, then neither of them would have stopped.
Well, I don't know if I'm thinking Okafor.
They should have stopped like 4 years ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna miss Okafor. Sorry, cousin Craig.
Me neither. But let me tell you something. That man, his voice demand you to listen.
Sorry, cousin, you had to go.
Let me tell you something. The pacing for this to only be 6 episodes, the pacing is impeccable.
It's great. They're getting to the point. I love it.
Because Tomas, you know how big I am on pacing. I don't want shit to be dragged out. I'm falling asleep, and I don't like shit to be fast. Like, excuse me, I'm trying to enjoy this. So the pace.
They went at like a movie pace with this one. Like the introduction of this group. Okay, hey, bye. All right, we on our way. Then we fighting a horde. Okay, dealt with that. Now we doing some character building. All right, on the road. Helicopter come. Now we recovering. It was like they were just doing so good and still building the characters throughout the whole thing. Like, they did
all the information quickly. And I mean, to tell you the truth, when the episode ended, every time these episodes end, I'm amazed. I'm like, it's already been an hour. What?
Yes.
That was me
like
with the very first episode.
Like there were a lot of points where it could have ended.
Where it could have stopped.
And then it's another scene. Oh, it's another scene.
Yeah.
So they
Cleo, you want to talk about them kissing?
Yeah, Cleo want to kiss it.
If y'all seen the clip of my reaction, I put on Instagram and TikTok. Baby, all I did was scream.
I got emotional. I was very excited.
See, I did all that crying last week. This time I was just screaming. I was so happy.
I cried.
Well, last week
too, at the campfire when Nat told her to know when to go, but she could still believe a little bit longer.
She broke down. I said, y'all is not making me watch the Nat cry like this. She was like, I was like,
right, we ain't never seen her break down that bad. I'm like,
break down like that, yeah.
I mean, like we've seen her cry plenty of times.
Yeah.
I was like,
that was her song.
That was like
great. Yes.
And I thought it was so cute. He hugged her.
Yeah.
It's just like all that built up. You trying to be strong for
Yes.
so long, and then all of a sudden you just
Baby.
And
like
she
let
And
go. I'm
it
glad
was
that she
so
let go.
good to see somebody nurturing Michonne, that wasn't Rick
Thank you.
or one of her kids, like somebody on the outside nurturing her
Yeah.
and having a real
Yeah,
friend.
because everybody
what I mean?
wants that. The thing is with that episode that everybody can relate to is that, hey, you've been strong for so long. When am I going to be like, nurtured? I nurture everybody. I'm the one that's taking care of everybody. But because I'm strong, that I'm not allowed to be cared for.
Right.
So to have Nat there, just like, cry it out, feel how you feel, but still keep on believing. I'm like, oh, Nat.
Yeah.
I just love that.
This is what happens when Denia is one of the riders.
Yeah.
I already know they won't let me
So
out.
I do have to say
that's why
that-
I feel like too that it also gave that bond of like when they were on the road together and when they saw that helicopter and they both immediately was like, "Oh, we killing them."
Yeah.
It was on
They had it fucked
site.
up.
It was on site.
They were like,
What
"Oh, it's
shit
no
to talk
question."
about.
Like, of course. He's like,
And-
he was like,
and
we're
it
not
was-
running. Of course we're not. Like, get the part. Let's go. I got a weapon for them.
And shout out to everybody in my comments. I don't even remember which it kind of. First of all, I don't even be reading my comments on TikTok because people say shit on the internet they'd never seen in real life, and I cuss a bitch out. Anyway, people was like, I knew it was Michonne when they blew the helicopter up. First of all, bitch, when has Michonne ever blown a helicopter up? So just because somebody blew up Okafor, I'm not assuming it's Michonne. But when I saw that motherfucker in the Cape, I said, oh, I know that's Michonne.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it makes
Yeah.
sense that it was Nat that blew up the fucking
Mhm.
helicopter. Because I'm like, I know Michonne, she could figure some shit out, but I ain't never seen her blow up a helicopter. So that wasn't my
sword
first
isn't
map.
that
But when I saw the
powerful.
person with a cape on, I'm like, oh, that's Michonne.
I'll tell you another minute that I really cried was when she was looking through the dead bodies for Rick.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. When they made
At the
it to
terminal,
pier
yeah.
or wherever they was at with a boat. Oh
Yeah,
my
Bridges
God.
Terminal. Yeah.
And none of them had shoes on. I
With-
was like,
yeah.
oh,
And I was like,
Another
bro, what
CRM
are you,
tactic.
when you taking the boots and like putting them up to the feet to see if they measured it, like what were you doing?
That's
when
what I
you were
thought, too.
checking all the pals? Like,
Yeah.
Well, she was hugging that boot.
and she knew
That's
she was
my part.
close. She was
Yeah.
like, because everybody kept telling her, everybody in that group kept telling her, he gone, give it up. She was like, I can feel him.
feel him.
I know.
It was like only like her and Daryl who believe, well, that's the afternoon because Judith told Daryl about,
Judith told Daryl and
but even
Michonne.
before that, I think kind of before that, he kind of maybe believed that Rick is alive a little.
That's why Daryl was in the woods all them years. He knew
Yeah.
Rick wasn't dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Daryl knew Rick
He
wasn't
just didn't
dead.
go far enough because Daryl, he was trying to find a body. Like Rick
Yeah.
was alive this whole time. Like he's
That's
not
why
a
he
walker
knew
body.
Rick was alive. Because Daryl said, first of all, Daryl can
He just
find a
didn't go
needle in-
out far enough.
Daryl can
Well,
find a
until the
needle-
end of the series when he did, and then
left
Yeah.
the continent, went across the Atlantic Ocean.
yeah, he went a little too far.
Daryl can find a
Yeah.
needle in a haystack. So he
Yeah, but it's hard to track a helicopter.
Yeah.
no, but what I'm saying is nobody knew Rick was gone in a helicopter. Daryl was
Right.
looking for a body.
Body.
Yeah.
Never even got to bury
He's
him.
figuring
That's why
that
they knew. They was
he
like,
turned.
Yeah.
He's looking through walkers and stuff because he's
They was like,
he's
it
looking
ain't
for a body to bring back.
they know what he was wearing. They're like, it ain't no fucking way. He just poofed in the thin air. We don't see no boots.
Right, but they can't
Nothing.
fathom how he would have gotten away from the situation. Like he would have had to walk. Like they're not thinking about helicopters. We ain't
Right.
seen a helicopter since when?
Because Gabe didn't say anything.
right.
First of all, I hate that
So-
nigga. Don't even get me started on Gabriel.
Wait, Father
Gabe
Gangster.
didn't
Let's
say
start the
And
Father
then-
Gangster
No,
slander.
no.
Y'all
We're
already
not
said
gonna
the
go Father
scene in the
Gabriel like
series,
that.
so-
Best development character in The Walking Dead. God
He
damn.
is, but he still should have said something. But
He
of
should.
course, I
Yeah.
understand at the same time him not thinking. In his head, he probably thought like, yeah, Rick is dead, and they're just, their search for him is futile. So he's not going to even connect that.
I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like-
Jadis left. She had a helicopter pad. He's not even going to think that even connects to each other.
I feel like all the people that knew Rick was still alive was literally the main people, like Michonne, Rick, probably Carol. That's my
I
auntie.
only give credit to Michonne and Daryl. Everybody else,
Yeah.
they
Hello,
moved on.
say it.
Somebody had to
Wow.
say
Yeah,
it
that's
with
why
the
I'm like, I don't
kids.
think Carol, because
My-
remember, Carol has that conversation with Daryl where, matter of fact, she's the one who tells him when we got those bonus 6 episodes that Michonne should have gave up.
Yep.
But like Karina said last week, he's got guilt on his mind too, because Daryl was the reason why all this happened. Daryl was one of the reasons why it all happened in the first place.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
right.
So,
That's
Just
one thing
like
I
I-
like about Daryl. He feels the weight of his decisions, and
Yeah.
he will try to make up for it.
Yeah.
mhm.
So I
Yeah.
want to bring it back to the station, and there's a few people who are saying the bodies, there might have been test subjects. I'm wondering if those bodies were all the A's, if that's where they bought the A's to
Yeah.
execute.
Oh, I just assumed there were survivors on the ship, and they bombed the ship. They just killed
Yeah, I
everybody.
figured that they just got rid of, because Nat does say something about the people on the ship were dead also. But
It looked like it was bombed because it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. A ship
First of
would still
all,
be whole if it was.
The ship was leaning. Okay.
Yeah, and it was
Somebody
burnt.
did something to it.
Hot 10.
Yeah, it seemed like they were a traveling community that was on the water, you know,
Yeah.
with the cruise ship, and it
And the
said
CRM
Safe
said,
Harbor.
Oh no.
And then CRM
Yeah.
saw that, blew them up.
Wasn't
'cause
the
y'all too
water
close.
low? I mean, it would lean.
Well, they were
if
probably coming in to resupply,
yeah.
and CRM said, "Nope,
They
not
got
in
got.
my town."
Literally. Only we can
Ain't no
exist.
good.
That's why I said I took it as they killed live people, not that it was.
That's what I thought
walkers
too.
that
That's why they
put down.
burned them.
Bro, yeah,
Yeah,
they were a lot of people.
Because if they was
And
walkers,
like you said, they had no shoes and stuff like that. We know in World Beyond that was one of their tactics.
Yeah, they take
One
the
of the-
shoes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Because they took
weird.
services shoes.
What do they do
Yeah.
with all these shoes? Use the materials?
just so you can't run away.
It's like
No,
some
I'm talking
health
about the
Some
people
cover.
that they burn. Like, what do they
Yeah,
do with
but-
their shoes after they burn them? Are you taking it and just using the materials to make other shit? Like
I don't
after?
know.
Like, what
Maybe.
do you do?
Maybe
That's
give
a
them
Jada's
some
question.
Chinese.
Right? Because you see, I don't know, they doing something, but yeah. So
Mhm.
anyway, Rick and Michonne.
Your voice just went away.
Oh my
Michonne
god!
Pete.
There, you're
And
back.
then when they were in the field,
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Now we
Yeah.
can.
I accidentally unplugged my microphone.
how
Like, Michonne
compliant
really-
Michonne was with Rick. Like at first she was like, "What are you talking about right now?" But then it was like fast paced. They got to figure it out. This is the story. This is what you got to do.
Well,
she
that's
was like,
trust.
"Okay, yeah." Mhm.
Yeah, she
But
was
I
gonna
love
do it
that
as Rick said anyway.
From this episode compared to the end of the last one, you know, they leave that, you know, they draw it out. So there's a little suspense as to what their reaction is going to be to each other. But in this one, it's immediate that Rick gets right up and goes to her and they embrace. Like, I love that.
No, I like
Mhm.
being
she
able
can't
to
say
see.
nothing, but I found you. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like being able to see the
Like she
same
couldn't
scene.
believe it. Like she kept touching his head, moving his
That's
head.
what I
He's
was
like, it's real.
And
then
it's
after
just
that,
to Rick's,
okay.
it just shows how much Rick and Michonne are in sync, because remember when he's about to get to the bridge
That I found
and
him.
he remembers her, he's thinking about her in his hallucination,
Mhm.
and he says, I
I
found
found them.
Yeah,
Yep.
found them. And so now she's saying, I found you. It just shows, just like also that we saw in the first episode with Rick and his dreams about Michonne, that he speaks the way she does in his dreams. They both speak to each other. So it goes back to like when she's at the campfire and she's saying that she can feel him. But we've always known like their communication was always,
Mhm.
it didn't even need to be verbal with them. So it's good to see like them having the same conversations with each other.
Michonne is what Rick has always needed. You know how like this is one thing. It'd be so y'all know how Rick be needing his approval from his woman. Michonne is that perfect. Oh my! The way he put his head down, he was like, "I'm not with him." She like, "I know." 'Cause let me tell you something. Sarah Wayne Callie's lover, Lori, hate her. Rick will ask her a question, and I'll be like, "Why is you asking this bitch? I don't care what she think, Rick. Oh my god." But you know, I like actually seeing this scene from a different point of view, because when we saw it the first time, you couldn't even see that she was lifting up each individual person and saying, "Look at
Look
me."
at-
Yes.
Up
Mhm.
close and personal. Y'all just blew up my new friends. It's
That was
personal.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like that because
Your mic
It
went out
makes
again.
sense.
I keep let me move this bitch back. I got it too close to me. Hello? Can you hear me? It's not funny. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
But
Y'all hear me?
what I
But
find
yeah, I like seeing
interesting,
that from a different point of view. And they
I
were
do too.
seeing the same scene again, it still hit. It still hit. They
The
was
first
just
time
like,
it was shocked.
That's what
because
I said. I was
literally
like, oh, I see
fathom
it
they
all
was
over
coming
again.
together in the first one.
because
This
she
one
already
was like, I'm anticipating it. I'm ready. Like, give it to me. And they gave me everything I needed.
And did you see it took Rick a moment? Like even when Michonne was crying, Rick was in her arm and he was just his eyes was scoring so close. It took him a minute. He was in so much shock. And then I could tell he started crying.
Yeah.
And then he started to panic. It shifted to panic because he's like, shit.
When he heard
They're
them
coming. I
helicopters,
gotta
he was like,
protect Michonne.
okay, your name is
Because
not
he's like,
Michonne.
I pressed that
Be
damn
strong.
PRB.
Right.
He's like, they're coming, and she is not a bee. What am I going to do?
Before we even get to that, Nat was like, he came up, he was like, is that him?
That's who
She
you are.
was so happy she was about to introduce him.
Yeah, is that
all
him?
hell broke loose.
That was so
I'm like,
cute.
Where did
And
that
she
CRM
turned
soldier
around
come
all
from?
giddy.
Like,
Well,
Like
there
Michonne
were four
literally like,
running out.
It's him.
There were
It's my
four
man.
running out. She
My man,
killed
my man, my
two.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. When
I thought they were dead, but I guess not.
No, there were four who ran out. Nat threw another bomb, and one went in one direction. The other
I
guys
remember that.
It was
continued
five.
on.
that was
Well,
why
four
Rick
was
had
Rick.
everybody. That's why
Oh,
everybody was
five.
on the ground.
Yeah,
from the
altogether
bomb.
five.
They blew him up, and that's how everybody fell to the ground.
Yeah.
Right, and so Michonne
Two
killed
got
two,
blown up first, and then three.
Yeah.
Rick
and then the
two
one that
other
was
got-
way off in the distance, he recovered enough to shoot
bastard.
our favorite
Rat
inventor.
bastard.
Yeah,
Like,
Man, when it happened, I was just like, it literally scared the shit
I
out of me.
jumped too, and I should know
I
better.
jumped too. I was like,
It's not
goddamn.
easy to jump scare me because I'm always anticipating it 24/7, but I was slacking and they got me that time.
Right. Like,
Because I
we're
already
the
had painted my
happiest we can
fantasy.
be, and then they just start to try to shatter our happiness. And I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like
And
we
the way
saw
he
her
was just
slit his throat.
Squirming,
So-
and Michonne just immediately ran over to him, and then how sympathetic, like Rick saw the whole thing unfolding, and he was just like, oh my goodness, this
no,
this
it
person
was-
really meant a lot to her and really helped her
I
along
was
the
like,
way.
"Keena, you been
And
here?" No, it was Rick instantly
so cute
picking
that
up her
he took
sword
his
for me.
Yeah, he picked up that sword and kicked that
Instantly,
man in
I
the head.
said, not
Yeah,
even picking
ran
up
over,
a
kicked the
sword.
dude in the head, slit his throat. Like,
yes,
that's right.
that's her man.
Well, first of
I-
all,
I-
let's
I
talk
love
about
that
first of all.
moment for Nat also, where he's like, it was like he was glad that his doubts of the whole time were proven wrong.
And he was happy that his creations were used for
Yeah.
something great.
First of
Yeah.
all,
He was able to
Look,
help
It
her
was the
complete
same
the
thing as
mission.
what Danger did for him. Michonne and Rick essentially ended up doing for him also. They took what it was something meant for destruction and gave it something positive for it.
First of all, let's talk about little storage where they were in. You know, when Rick was right beside Michonne, and Michonne got that little smirk, kind of like almost like, "Ooh, we going in janitor's closet, aren't we?" You know,
Girl, when I tell you, let me tell you something. First of all, Michonne really had her script together. Shout out to her. I said, y'all don't even know she's a whole ass lawyer. Anyway, I was he and ha. As soon as that scene went to Michonne walking, I'm like, is that Rick?
yeah.
All I did was
And
he
Michonne was
ha-ha.
smirking, like, "Ooh," and I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, man, Rick gonna be like Kim Parker's on the Parkers, like, shake your booty on the side. I'm like, you better like, I was like, y'all gonna rock them like trucks or something.
And
like
that was they was kissing for real because they was
Yes.
still in shock that they even found each other when they was outside, and then the CRM was coming, so they was scrambling. He was like, "You got anything from Alexandria, a map, anything? I need all that shit running." And then when they got to go
I
in
wanted
that
to
room,
talk
he
about
was
that
like,
too. That
Mhm.
Rick is, because again, we go back to with Lori. He's surprised, sadly, that Michonne was looking for him because
Yep.
when he asked her, "Do you have anything that will show them about Alexandria?" and she says
the phone, the
that
walkie,
she
the
has
map.
she
Mhm.
says
Journal.
that she has the journal.
His
She says she has the walkie. Then she says the phone. So you see like him kind of like phone, and then when
Like
she
she
says the
found
boots,
everything.
and then
Lori
when she
could
says
never.
the boots, that's when he's like, "Oh, she was looking for me, and she actually found my breadcrumbs."
Looking.
Yep.
So
Well, if
that's
he
what
hadn't
like
found those
affirms
breadcrumbs,
that
she
she
wouldn't
Right.
was
have-
there.
They
She
need to
actually
sit
she
down
believed-
and break everything down. Like, they just need a time where everything ain't rushed for them.
Yeah,
But we can't skip over how
Oh
he
my
asked
God,
about
that just
Judith.
scared me.
He was like, "Is
I
Judith
can't believe-
okay?"
yeah, Judith.
Yes.
Okay,
She was like, "Yeah, she's good. She's good."
Yeah, because
Yeah,
at first I was
Yeah,
like,
he didn't
how come
ask
they
her
didn't talk
RJ.
about RJ? But then when Karina out on Twitter, then Karina, comment is like, because
Yeah.
you got to protect, you don't want to like give too much away. And
I think she
part of
want to
me
be
was
able to
like,
enjoy the moment.
Yeah, you want to be able to sit down and talk about RJ in depth. Like, you don't want to just be like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, yeah,
Oh
by
my
the way,
God.
also, we got a
Wait.
kid.
I got it.
Like,
Wait.
Well, the less Rick knows, the
Right.
less he can give away.
No,
And,
with
and
RJ.
also, she didn't want to put any extra guilt on him because she could already see that
Exactly.
he wasn't in the right,
Fragile.
in the same
It's
frame
fragile.
of mind.
This
So
is
to
the thing.
tell him that right then could have been devastating for him.
Yeah.
Michonne know
But-
better because Rick, he didn't. I mean, it's a post-apocalyptic world, of course. He be in his various states of mental health. He hasn't gone as extreme as Morgan, but Rick he
She
be
checked too.
having
She
his
was like, them soldiers was out there killing folks. Did you do that? He was like, nah.
Yeah.
He like, I ain't had nothing to do
Well,
with
He
that.
like,
you
first of
notice-
all, I only been doing this 2 years. Literally, I was training and then I fixed that place up for 12 months. Next thing I know, I done ran into you. Like,
Right.
But
So,
you'll notice
Rick-
that Michonne is a better person than Rick because he's like, we can't stop them from doing this. And Michonne's like, can we try?
can we try?
Yeah.
But Michonne
I
was
love that.
always been like that, though.
Yeah.
Like
she
even with
always is
Negan.
hopeful.
Rick came to Michonne
Right.
after Negan was like, I see it now. You were always right. But no,
Yeah.
I was gonna say with him not telling about RJ, I was like, if she tell him that he have a son, he's literally going to lose his fucking mind right now. She
He
know
wouldn't be able
better.
to think straight. Yeah.
Cause she was cheesing and she was like, and he was like, is Judith okay? She's fine. She's us. Like, and I was like, she's us.
Literally, she represents all the Grind family members perfectly.
Gov,
Judith
don't
got
you
the
dare say
best.
anything.
Judith got the
Right.
best
So-
of
Yeah.
everybody.
Carl.
Love it.
Yeah.
But I did
Everybody.
want to say too, their conversation about Michonne wanting to try to fight them was also like reminded me of the scene in I think 712 when Michonne's talking about bringing all the communities together and somebody has to lead that, and he's like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not me. I really want to, but he was like, if that's something you wanted, then we can do it. And I think she is going to convince Rick to fight because I think he's just all right, let's go, like the first chance we get. But
No,
I think
this
she's
is my
gonna
thing.
want to take them down.
I don't think we need to fight because we can't fight. We can't fight the United States government, basically. This is the status the CRM have. It's two of us. Y'all need to dismantle shit quietly.
Yes.
I
Is
think
what
they're gonna
we
go
need
with
to do.
Okafor's plan and take down the leadership.
You can't go in guns a-blazing with CRM. That ain't how this
Nope.
gonna work. You gotta dismantle
You gotta
shit
be
from the
strategic
inside.
in that.
Right.
Yeah. But the problem's
Do you
going to be
think
with
that
that is
Michonne
that
had an
Michonne-
idea that Jadis was in that room watching her?
No.
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 Then why? I
Nobody's-
mean, I know it's been a while since she saw herself, but I didn't.
Oh, no.
know.
She knows someone's watching her, but she doesn't know
Yeah,
it's
she knows
Jadis.
someone's watching. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, she knows it's a
Michonne
double
also
class.
likes
She
to
was a
read the
lawyer
room.
before. She's been
Yeah.
in interrogation
Yeah.
rooms before.
Nobody, I don't think
Michonne
anybody
has
is
been walking around like the community, scoping out, just like she did in Woodbury. Like she
Always.
likes to really check out the place and see what these people
I was about
are
to bring that
about
up.
their hints.
Like after she was
Right.
kissing Rick. But no, I was about to
Yes.
say she's not thinking about Jadis because number one, Jadis was never a part of our communities. So nobody was ever keeping up with her anyway. And then on top of that, we asked for that bitch help and she played in our face. And if Sasha didn't kill herself, and then if Carl didn't take that advantage and shoot first, we would have been fucked a long time ago.
Yeah.
So nobody is even we don't even know who this lady is. She never even talked in complete sentences. She
I
literally
mean, Rick even
Well,
forgot
she had the
about
moment
her.
when she was Anne.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 5
Yeah,
episodes
but-
of season 9, those first 5, she
Yeah.
was regular.
so she
Gabe girlfriend.
nobody's looking for her.
No.
Yeah.
I think Gabriel let them know she just ditched her. She left a
Yeah,
little
she
letter.
did.
and-
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
not
it
a
makes-
surprise.
It would make sense in their mind. She left the letter. She went on about her way.
She
Yeah.
literally
Same
gave us up
time.
to Negan.
I mean, I would have kind of thought that was suspicious.
Yeah, and I have thoughts on Jadis in the future because, I mean, if we want to get to that point and
What
start
future?
talking about Jadis. See, Jadis
Wait,
is an
before we get
opportunist.
there, I was gonna talk about how one thing about Michonne, she always gonna scope the place out. First of
Mhm.
all, the lighter, the callback. She up there flicking the lighter. But she was standing up there and she was looking like, oh yeah, Rick said she was really looking infrastructure.
Her
They
mind's
are-
going to start thinking about what we can do with this and how we can
Yeah.
take this down or
Yeah.
use it to our advantage. Because she's always been the one that can think about make a plan. Rick was
Yeah.
kind of taking whenever moments and opportunities he can get. And
that's why she had to
trying
knock his ass out in the middle of
He
Alexandria.
gonna create a plan. Like she is going to.
That's why I said Michonne. Rick is the one who come up with an idea, but he doesn't know how to execute it. And Michonne's like, "Wait, tell me some more about what you think." Oh, if we do this, that, and the other, this is how we can make it happen. Like that's who she is.
They're literally the perfect.
So I think that Rick has all the pieces, especially with the fact that he worked on building the location in the Cascades. He has things. He knows things that will help them. He just doesn't know how to put it together. And Michonne is going to be the one who puts it together.
And I think
Plus all the hidden locations that him and Okafor met and talked.
Exactly.
They can use that to communicate as well.
Michonne
Black doesn't think Jada is going to make it out of this season.
And I think Michonne is
I don't think so.
I hope not.
I think Michonne is such a strong-willed person. You know, when Rick told her like you got to be B and what have you, you know, because she's such a natural leader that sometimes I'm like now Michonne, you know, remember you B. Okay.
You got to maintain it.
Yeah,
you
gotta
perfect. You did a perfect interview.
Yes, you got it because
you hit it out the park.
If you watch,
she's got to maintain it.
If you watch the previews from next week, she's having trouble maintaining that.
I was thinking about.
I'll watch previews.
I was thinking about Carol. I was thinking about Carol and how easily like Carol can make you think that.
I literally said that in my reaction. I said the only person I know that could make you think they somebody they not better than Michonne is Carol. She is little old frail old lady.
Michonne ain't never had to pretend, and she's never been interested in pretending.
Yeah,
exactly.
She's always
so that's why I'm saying it. That's why I'm saying Michonne got to be very careful and maintain that. You know, don't slip up. Okay, this is.
Because she has a strong personality.
What did Michonne do at Woodbury? She was supposed to get there, get herself together. She didn't kill all the walkers they had in storage in the back. Like she just
after
can't help
stealing
it.
her sword bag, breaking into the leader's apartment. Like,
thank you. She didn't figure this whole shit out. So like Michonne just gotta maintain it.
I said, Michonne, just say that you're grieving. Just say that you're grieving, that you had a lot, that you had gone through stuff. Like I'm just grieving. You know, that's the reason why I kill the way I do. I'm sorry. Like I pull it back. I'm not a leader. Like,
that's another reason why when Rick got her in between them trucks, he was like, yes. Because like you said, we got the reunion kiss, but they're still kind of shocked, and then the CRM is on the way. So there he's like, okay, I'm gonna get because you gotta think about that. From the time that they take her on the helicopter and get back, and she has to go do the interrogation and orientation and all of that, the whole time Rick is stressed. He's like, is she making it through? So when he finds out that she's made it through, because again, he was never chilling with the consignees, so he has no reason to be there.
Exactly. So it's not out of the ordinary for him to not be mingling with people. I feel like wherever they do the interview and shit at, wherever he would just be standing outside the doors trying to see when she gonna walk out somewhere, and then when he saw her,
he probably couldn't.
He walked right up on the side.
That's why he was like, I'm gonna yoke her up, take her in this warehouse. The thing that always killed me about that scene is how you see he lets her go in first. He looks around, but then he ahead of her when they get inside.
Walking. Let me tell you something. I said this in my reaction. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I know Andy was happy to be able to kiss Denai again. What? He was scaring her mouth. Okay? They were kissing on them trucks. I'm like, damn.
We're going to check it out. And he done
you
got
can
the
still be married and still enjoy his job.
Swoop the hair out the way, to grab the neck, head tilted.
Take that moaning. Yeah.
You know we can hear you moaning like that, right? Moaning.
I love it.
Oh wait, and I gotta throw it. Wait, let me throw this in there real quick because I always gotta bring this up every time I think about it. Andy, he be adding little shit extra in the script because it ain't no way. Remember when Michonne thought he died at the fair when he fell off the thing? Him grabbing her booty wasn't in the script.
Woo,
I don't care what nobody say. That was not in the script.
Grab that booty.
And if you've ever seen a script or written a script before, scripts are very bare bones. They're very bare bones. They'll just say like, oh, the couple looks at each other longingly. They share a kiss. But that's how scripts are
y'all got to be acting.
Yeah, so the actors really are the ones who bring the stuff into it. And I just know Andy, like Denai and Scotty G are writing the script, and Andy's just laying there with his feet. And he's like, okay, like, so
and
when
his mama is somewhere happy as
more
fuck.
kisses in there.
No, I love that.
It's too for it to be this one episode and us to have these many kisses already. Like they've kissed more in one episode than they have in them in the main show.
They ain't kissed as much since they was on that vacation for them few days. I swear.
Though it would be hilarious if Michonne turned to Rick and said, Ezekiel's better.
Oh! Did I ever tell y'all this? I can't remember. I was saying how, now we know Michonne ain't had no dick in about 7 years, right? She wasn't even looking at none. I always said, what if Jadis had like figured out a way to like steal some dick from Rick? Like, I'm so serious.
Ooh, what the?
Because he was like, you're looking good.
And I was like, bitch, we know you like him. I lay with him out.
Excuse me? So annoying. I cannot stand this woman. I cannot wait for her to die. The only reason I think that's not gonna happen is because Denai is writing. And I feel like if anybody was able to steal some dick off Rick, I'm gonna be so mad. Laptop going out the window. I'm gonna be so mad. No. I feel like Andy wouldn't even entertain that. He's like, that's not happening.
No.
Well, I feel like the next episode
Well,
is Jadis' episode, so we'll see what happens.
This is also why this is a story, because 9 years away from your wife, it'd be very tough to be.
Just say you're weak, Governor.
if I was married and then I was separated from my wife for 9 years, didn't know if she was alive, it would be tough not to.
See, he giving it up. He said he is giving it up. Okay.
Yeah.
But all right,
I'm about to say who will marry the governor.
Difference
that's not the one you want to give it up to. Even if you say, even if you have a weak moment, that's who you would choose? No.
No, I'm not saying it would have been Jadis.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like, I'm finna go blow up Alexandria if you don't do this type shit, because Jadis is in a position of power where she can do that shit to him. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if she was to use her power against him in that way, like, I like you, bring it here.
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about.
You will go down on me, or I will go down to Alexandria and blow this shit up.
Yeah, like, cause she really will.
Nasty.
But nobody knows who she really is but Rick.
Not with that bowl cut though.
But see, that's the thing that
she love her bang. Okay, she said, "I don't need the bob no more. Just give me all bang."
But
all
Jadis is a beautiful woman, but you know she's just like oh.
She said, "Give me a bang all the way around my whole fucking head."
Because I want to bang Rick.
Pollyanna portrays Jadis.
Too. It wasn't the
Pollyanna portrays Jadis so well. I hate Jadis so fucking bad.
Like,
I was
so
like, man,
good
Jadis, you cool? How you
Pollyanna's
what
very
you be
cool.
saying? But man, I don't like you.
Pollyanna portrays Jadis just. I ain't never seen a character like that. Like, first of all, hearing her speak in complete sentences, I like
with commas and punctuations and everything else. Like that's good.
And then she gave that one little throwback with the yes.
Oh, that was creepy.
Yes.
Yes.
And I was like, ma'am, could you move back, please? You're too close.
Oh my God, yes. In his bitch move.
First of all, you already done broke into his apartment.
Right.
And then
could you imagine if he had Michonne with him?
You drinking his liquor. And
well, I don't think
now
he
you're
just like,
I'm just happy that she agreed to not say anything. Like, thank God.
Just
because
think if Rick was laying down in his bed and
Rick. They want Rick so bad. Yes, we know he's an asset. You can't just, he's not just somebody you could just come by any day. And Okafor is dead now too. So like, who the fuck going like, so of course she not gonna let Rick go. And like she said, she never worried about Rick escaping, but now that Michonne is there, I will go blow up Alexandria if you and her escape. And I believe
that's
her.
why I said that she never threatened Rick with, she never used Alexandria to hold over Rick before because she knew that Rick really couldn't get out.
Like,
and
what
she
was
has
the
this
deal?
weird fascination with him. She wants him to be there. So if she had if she had threatened Rick with, oh, I'll do something to Alexandria,
he would have quit trying to escape a long time ago.
No, I actually think that she didn't want him to be able to escape. If she threatened to have done something to Alexandria before that, he would have tried even harder to get out.
So like, what was the deal that they made?
I think he would have gave up that first time because he the one after the lineup, he wasn't fighting Negan at all. Maggie and Michonne was the ones like, we finna go fuck Negan up. Rick was the one like, Did
No,
you
but that's what I'm saying. I think
experience what
it-
just
No,
happened?
I think
Because
if
at
she
that
threatened Alexandria, but she made it clear
And-
that she was the only one who knew about Alexandria,
Mm-hmm.
Rick would have arranged a fatal accident for her a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That Rick would, if she had threatened Alexandria before, she didn't have any leverage over Rick before. So now that Michonne is there, she can play that card. Before, remember, she has this weird obsession. She doesn't want him to actually leave. She wants him to be there. She wants him to be in this community.
Like a pet. You know, she sees people like pets.
Yeah.
It's
So
weird.
my
It's-
question,
Well,
my
it's
question
also
is,
if he goes bad, that reflects badly on her, and she's
On
going to
her.
have to put you
And
position.
then
my
she's
question-
scared
so
of
my
what he'll
question
say
is
about
this.
her. So she couldn't play that card before because he had leverage on her also that he could say, oh yeah, I knew her before. This is
Yep.
where she's from.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
He
my
could blew
question
her
is
up
this:
also.
what is the deal? Because she talking about this deal that she and Rick had made.
I think that he
Just
just got to
the-
stay there.
Yeah, just
think
the,
we'll
the
find out.
comment that he won't. He clearly hasn't said anything about who she is before,
Right.
Probably
and so that's the deal that in her head. In her head is a deal. Just like in her head, that she still has a chance with Rick.
Right.
She also
All of
because
these things are in her head. They're not.
We-
Rick is looking at her like, "What deal? What are you talking about? We don't have a deal."
exactly. So the thing is we don't know what she was prior to being a garbage lady, and she used Rick as her token to get back in good with the CRM. So of course she don't want him to leave. That was her meal ticket. I gotta be.
Yeah,
But they had to have trusted her deeply to even let her go and do recruitment.
Of course, we just
Yeah.
don't know,
You know what I
how
mean?
she knew them already, because they just
Right, we
fucking
don't.
showed up and she said,
It
"I
would
gotta
be-
be." Rick was her meal
That's
ticket.
why we
Yeah.
need to have the Jadis episode. I'm sure
Hell
we'll get
no.
I
that.
don't need
We
no
don't
whole full
need-
Jada's
don't need an
episode.
episode.
Yeah, they could weave the story in through dialogue.
The
and
way
stuff,
that they, let me tell you something. The way that
Maybe
they
a quarter
developed Nat
episode.
so easy, they could do the same for Jadis. We done seen her enough.
Hey Jack,
Exactly. We already
Yeah,
know
she
what
on her
Jada's
way
is
out.
about.
I'm trying.
Jadis
What do you
is
think of the
about-
episode?
Hey,
He wants
Jack,
to-
you got any
Yeah.
thoughts?
Hi, Jack.
Hello. I seem to have very, very contradicting. I don't want to say contradicting thoughts to everybody about it, but I feel like I'm either looking at things way too deeply, or other people just aren't looking at it deep enough, or I don't know. I feel like people aren't giving Andy and Denied enough credit for complexity when it comes to the obstacles that they're going to be presenting us in the remainder of the season, because everyone's making it out to seem like Jadis is the only person that knows about Alexandria and back home. And if that's the case, that's pretty fucking stupid writing, because they kill her, they can fake a death and leave. That's pretty fucking lazy and stupid. I feel like there's got to be more to it, because there would be so many holes to that being, and that would be way too convenient and cliche if it was, well, there's only one person left that knows our little secret, so let's take him out and get going. Like, that's so fucking stupid.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
there's
safety
got to be
deposit
depth to it.
box.
I don't think anybody
Gotta
else
be
know
done.
about. I don't think anybody else know about Alexandria.
No, I think
maybe
But-
not Alexandria
about
and
Alexandria.
Michonne,
We
but
saw
someone's
that the
got to know
CRM
something.
has the map of the United States, and they have all of these spots pointed out for fueling stations.
Yeah, and Okafor
Yeah.
mentioned that they
So we
went
know-
back there and
Yeah, and we know
talked
that
to
the
people there.
bridge, not to Alexandria.
Well, but they got info on Michonne from there, and then he confirmed it
Right.
with
He
Rick's
said
like
that it was
journals
from
and the
Michonne
phones
in
and
that
stuff.
area.
No. What he said was,
No, he read Rick's
He
message in a
says-
bottle
yeah.
that he
He
threw on the
says
boat with
Michonne's
his boots.
not a
That's the
common
only
name.
reason he knows about Michonne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
when he
and we
told
could go
Rick
back
that
to
he
where we
read,
picked you up and find
picked
it.
you up from.
when he
yeah.
told Rick he read his message in a bottle, when Rick threw it onto the boat, that was when they were fighting in the room for real. Because Rick was like, "You read my shit?" Like that was some personal shit he wrote in there. That's the only reason he knows about Michonne.
That breaks federal law.
If
I
Rick
just feel
literally
like
he
it'd
read
be
his
real
mail.
lazy of them if they make Jadis
No,
the
I
only
think-
person that knows.
Nothing
No, I
about
don't
this
think
is
that
No, but if
Jason's
she's
the only
smart, she
person. I
has
think in the CRM they
files.
know about the community. They just don't know Rick's connection to those communities, because we see that
Maybe not to
to
Michonne.
Outpost, we get little clues that CW has some link to CRM also, or
Yeah.
CRP
Wow.
also.
That was
So
another
they
thing
know
I've been
about those
thinking about.
communities, but they
But if
just
they
don't.
know about it,
they
but
just
if they
know that
knew
they're
about
not
it,
a
why
threat
didn't they
because
blow
they're
it up
too-
like they blow everything else up?
I think because they're far enough south that they're not a threat to them yet.
Well, and they're not
And
they're
they're-
not
Yeah, and
exchanging. The reason they took out the other ones in World Beyond was because I literally just watched a
they have an
reaction on
exchange
it.
with them. The other
Yeah,
communities,
and
they
they
can't sustain
mentioned
themselves.
they did some study and scope that in however many years they were going to be not self-sustaining and run out of food
Yeah.
and starve to death, and so we're just like, we'll just make it easy and just take them out, which that's fucking stupid, but that was their reasoning. And so I feel like since CR, or at least from what we know, Commonwealth hasn't really had anything to them except maybe Lance. I don't know what that whole deal with Lance and the conversation he had with Pamela was. It's Walking Dead doesn't really do too many throwaway things like that, like like the designation 2 and all that.
Yeah, putting people on the train.
Yeah,
like you
I
said.
feel like Lance and Jadis, I think, were similar assets to CRM, and I feel like they were getting different types of people to test stuff on, because they were doing experiments for the most part, and I feel like they were getting two very differing types of people to do those experiments on. Like Connie, very smart, very logical leader, but then you have like the random garbage people that are just like artists and groupies that like don't really have any leadership qualities, and you can test whatever they're testing on them. So I feel like that something with that has to come into play. But the knowing behind the scenes knowledge really fucks up a lot of theorizing, because we know that the majority of the sets are already gone. So like I don't know what their plan is. I don't know if they are going to address that. That's why I feel like it'd be real stupid if they didn't do a season 2, because they would be cramming way too much into 6 episodes. Like
they've done a lot.
I do want to
of
quickly interrupt and thank Amani for. I want to thank Amani for the super chat. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
I don't think they cram it too much, because it was only supposed to be a Rick trilogy, and we already got double that with 6 episodes.
I mean, we know that trilogy wasn't going to be enough, though.
Let me tell you something. I believe Jadis when she say she did not tell that Rick is from Alexandria, because I don't think she was lying, because she said, I'm keeping this off the book just like I keep other stuff off the books. Secrecy is above all in the CRM. Like they said, 90% of the people in the army don't even know what each other do, and 100% of the citizens don't know. People is not walking around giving they tea to everybody because they want to keep it to themselves so they could use it for what they want to use it for.
Yeah,
I don't think she told nobody Rick from Alexandria.
I don't say criticism, but
but I think the CRM knows about other communities.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, my main issue with a lot of people that were just, well, not with people, but with the theories and ideas that they could just, take Jadis out and dip or whatever. It feels like not only would it be really hard to fake your death as Rick, because they have very strong security measures already, and it took however long it did to plan the one that failed with the kid, and
a year.
Aligning, and that's a long time for one attempt. So I feel like lining something that complex up for one person, let alone 2 people, would be really hard to accomplish. So if they're gonna do something like that, I don't know, it just feels like I feel like Andy and I would write a more complex situation than that, because from what we've seen from them so far,
because it can higher up.
It'll depend on how they
dies,
do.
There's got to be an investigation, and if somebody's dying, there's got to be motive. Everybody there, they said, is content with being there. There's only one person we know that don't want to be there.
I don't know. It seems too obvious that if something were to happen, that they would immediately know it's him or Michonne, and then go after them. And if they know,
but remember, it wouldn't just be that, because we know also that we saw protesters in the street. Yeah. We saw the cover of the Tribune. We saw in World Beyond that they've lost all the scientists and the research.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Fuck.
Yeah. So right now CRM is really trying to pull as many things together to keep the wool over the eye of the CRP, but the CRP is starting to crumble also. That's the reason they're having this summit. So there's already something, and then we don't know how many people Okafor flipped already before he did Rick and Pearl. So there's already been an underground movement to turn the CRP around.
I'm
so
hoping
it's just
that's
about
what they lean into, because
I'm going to interrupt for a quick second. North of 60, thank you so much for the super chat. And Busy, you were awesome. Love you too. Just,
Busy, get your ass in here.
Busy's busy.
Busy's busy. He's apparently said he's recording all night. He's doing porn.
Mr. Screener.
But, yes, thank you, North of 60. Thank you, Busy Blonde. Thanks, everybody, for your super chats. You are amazing people, amazing fans. Thank you so much. All right, go on, because, I won't get a word in edgewise anyway.
Okay, so I have one thing to say. When Michonne was walking about, I mean, I don't know how long she had been there, but they're very, very trusting of the people that they bring in there because she just was going anywhere she wanted freely. She was going up on top.
Well, she's walking in the consignee area.
I was about to
She's
say
not
she
in the
ain't walking
city.
freely because if you see where she walking, everybody got the same jacket that she got on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but she's
You
still
see the
free
soldiers.
in the
So
sense
the-
like there wasn't anybody following her. There was no one telling her like, "Hey, you
Because
can't go there."
again, who tries to leave really?
Yeah, I was gonna say they haven't had any issues, so
Other
you
than
don't have
like-
to have
Trying to leave.
strict rules with when you have no
Yeah.
issues going on.
And I
ever.
feel like that interview process was pretty damn transparent. I was kind of surprised. It was much more transparent than Commonwealth seemed to be.
I'd rather
Commonwealth
get-
was trying to
yeah,
trick
I don't wanna
them
get
and like
grilled by the
trip them
Commonwealth.
up. But yeah, and CRM's like, this is what we're doing and what we stand for. How do you feel about it? You're cool
Yeah.
with it? Cool. Come on in. Like that was really surprising that they had a better interview process than Commonwealth did. Like I would much
That's
rather
why,
be
again, like you said,
Correct.
Jack, that I'm like, I think that again, there's something deeper going on. That maybe there's people who are on the interrogation board who are purposely bringing A's in because there's no way you can look at Michonne and
not
think
see
that
she's an A.
and think that she's an A.
I mean,
think that there's
she's a
a
But
pretty
you
good
can't
actor.
you can't
conspiracy
tell
going
me
on.
no. You know
flip the
Michonne.
community.
You attached to Michonne. She had her
Well,
script together.
She
Yeah.
did. And
Nuance.
quick,
No, she
too.
did, but
That was quick.
Nuance. She had the nuance.
but yeah, but the
And the
process is
fact
really
that the
quick.
Wow.
Easter eggs in that story.
She had
Dana
her script.
for
She put her lawyer
Deny,
face on. She put her
Elle
lawyer
with her
hat on.
sister Elodie from the fucking comics. Like there were so many little Easter eggs in
Well,
her
she
story.
no,
and
she
I
took
loved
L
it.
from the group, the caravan leader.
Oh,
because the story
I
she
was
tells,
tying it
yeah.
to comics because
Yeah,
her
you
sister's
trying
name
to
is
link
Elodie.
it back to the
Yeah.
sister. Yeah, but
Regardless,
Yeah, so
she
she-
came up with that so fast, and it
Yeah.
sounded so believable. It was great.
It was the nuances for me.
Oh
I
my God.
haven't
And
seen
seeing her
myself in a
properly
while.
sob for
yeah,
the first time
that's the
in
part
the
that
show.
was the good part for me.
Yeah.
That was the
Yeah.
believable part when she's like, when she talks about not hearing her voice for so long.
Excuse
yeah.
me.
When she looks
Literally,
in the mirror.
she had her script together.
Yeah.
She put her lawyer
She's
hat on.
always been well thought out, though.
Yeah,
That's what I love
always.
about her.
Yeah.
I wonder if
Look
we're
at Tamaj's
gonna
face.
get
He be
her
so
last
happy.
name now that she's like assuming
We
a
already
different
know her last
identity.
name is Grimes.
I mean, if she's gonna lie about it.
She
Because
said
if
her
you
last
truly-
name. The fake last name that she came up with is Dana Bethune. That's her name.
Oh, I didn't hear the
Yeah.
last name. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Bethune.
Okay. I was hoping they were gonna do a Hawthorne thing, like another comic. thing.
No.
When did they? Was it
I thought
when
she
she
just
was
said
explaining it? Yeah, I did. I thought she just said Dana.
Does she say it in the
I
thing?
thought she said Dana. I thought she said Dana.
I thought she just said Dana. I didn't hear anything else.
Well, spoiler.
Doing
Boy,
like a
I'm gonna
slip
need you
up.
gonna get out in 2 seconds. Because I was about to say, she said my name is Dana. She ain't say nothing else.
Well,
You tried, Joy. You
you're
tried.
welcome.
Well, shit.
I'm about to get off. Don't go to bed because
Michonne not having it. Like,
I don't even. Let me tell you something. At the end of every episode next week, fuck you. I'm not watching shit from next
Oh,
week.
I feel so
And I
bad.
literally-
I
For
live
right-
for
I
that.
First
literally
one.
line it up. I
I
line it
live
up on
for
my
them too.
screen.
I watch every single one.
I literally line it up on my screen inside the episode for this episode. I literally skip the preview for next week and go straight to the inside the episode because those I love.
oh,
I love the inside.
I've been loving them for the spin-offs. For some of Fear, it was really good. There were a few that I was just kind of like, yeah. But the inside for the spin-offs has been fantastic because it's a whole different creative process. So hearing the thought process behind it, and especially hearing from the actors too, oh, I love it so much. Because we haven't really been getting that much with the lack of like Talking Dead stuff. So it's really nice to get the cast, coming and pouring their heart out for their passion projects, because I feel like they've even been missing that too, because you can tell how passionate they've been about it, and it seeps onto the screen, and it's fantastic.
But you're right about the Fear ones not being all that good.
Yeah.
Whenever I saw the
think
Fear
that's kinda
ones, I'm
hard to
like,
explain
these are
stuff
the
that
guys
makes
who
no
are screwing
fucking
up
sense.
the story.
It's like the last season of Game of Thrones Insiders that they did. They had such a
I
hard
stopped
time
watching them 'cause
explaining
they didn't make
shit.
sense. I was like, all right, you know what? Let me just watch the show.
Yeah.
Fuck what y'all talking about.
Governor, how do you think she spells Dana?
What? Is that supposed to be a gotcha?
You know we got to bring this up every week.
No.
Look at his face.
Is this
He can't
something I
spell. Oh,
missed?
hold up, stop.
There's a difference in how you spell Deanna and how you spell Diana, and I think
we're
some of us know that.
Is that what
I
you're
remember
referring to?
that.
Dana,
I'm talking about
D-A-N-A.
Dana, not Diana or Deanna.
That was a chat
I'm talking
thing, I
about
thought.
Dana.
That
I
was
think it's got
a
a Y
trivia
in it.
thing. That was a trivia thing, the Deanna.
Is it just me, or did you
Diana.
guys hear Andy's accent slip a little bit when they were having their little like high school makeout sesh by the truck?
Yeah.
When he was
was
like,
cute.
"Oh, they don't have me anymore." It's like right at the end of that, it sounded like it slipped a little bit.
It
I don't
sounded
know.
like
That's it.
season. It sounded like season one Rick to me.
Back and hard.
I don't know. They
Yeah.
say Andy stay in his accent all
Yeah.
throughout the filming process.
I ain't hear nothing slip. He sounded like season one Rick. I said, "Ooh."
Maybe it was
the
just that
energy is-
I'm so foreign to hearing Rick because it's been so long that it just little parts slip my mind now.
Every time he opened his mouth, I'm like,
It's just, to me, it's more that Andy has honed in and he's able to put the way he raises his voice on certain things.
yeah.
I feel like
That's
he's even
what's
more
sticking
Rick
up
now.
to
Like he
him
said,
now.
he was so happy to come back and do this. I feel like he's even more Rick, if
Yeah, like-
anything. Like this is the
Oh,
last
yeah,
hurrah. This is it.
Agreed.
we can all
Very
agree that
much so.
aged up him here looks better than the season 9 one, right? Are we kind of in
back.
agreement there that he looks a little more natural now than the geezer
The bad makeup,
Photoshop?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was horrendous. They made that man look way older than he should have.
Yeah.
Well, because Andy
He
is
was
always
ready
like,
to
"Oh,
retire.
yeah,
That's
maybe-
why.
maybe-" Yeah,
That
he's
was
like,
his-
"Maybe
that was
settle
his
down
dream
and-
se-
And
that
have
was
a
his-
new population.
That was
No,
his
I'm
dream.
talking about not the dream. I'm talking about like when he like goes out on the porch and is like looking at Judith and
Season
Michonne
9.
and like the
What?
proper
Oh, you talking
season
about
9.
He was
Season
retiring,
nine
ready
in
to just
general.
have
Yeah, like,
babies
not
for
the
rest
Oh
of
no,
dream.
he
his
was still
life.
fine
Like,
then too. He was
I'm not
fine
saying-
then.
I'm
He's
not saying
fine
he wasn't
now. He's
fine.
fine
I
season
just-
one.
I
He's
feel
fine season 5.
I
He's
feel this
fine
seems more
9.
natural.
He's fine now.
I'm
No,
not
like,
saying
he
he's
ain't never
not
been fine.
fine.
He is
You
fine.
can't. You
I
ain't gonna
just
get a
felt
word Edward
didn't
and
seem
watch
as
Jack. 'Cause you know
natural.
Joy.
I see what you're
Yeah,
trying to
listen,
say.
Rick.
He's still attractive. I'm not saying he's not. We're not denying that. It just seemed like they were trying to change his attractiveness.
Well, you
in
think that
season
he
9.
looks better with long hair than short?
No,
He
I
literally looks
feel
the
like
same, it's just
the
the
way
haircut.
that he is now. Like I don't know if it was the makeup, but the wrinkles seem more natural, and I don't know. I just feel like they were trying to force certain things to look more aged than they were in season
I think
9.
I can see where you coming from.
Not the whole
Well, Andy
thing,
said
but
that
some
I
of
think
he
I
it.
can
wanted
see
to
where you
look
coming
rougher.
from.
He wanted to look
Season 9
rougher
Rick.
and more gruff.
Oh yeah, and
in season
maybe
9,
it's just that
so-
I think Andy looks better when he's looking rough. Like I feel like when he's too
Well,
clean,
and he
it's
can
almost
probably
like
buy hair dye now. So
Yeah.
that too. I didn't think about that. That's a good
Because
point.
that's what I was gonna say. That his hair was more gray then.
because
so
them saviors
now-
had Rick stressed out. Like he's trying to build a bridge, and y'all doing everything fucking else in the
They
world.
had
Like,
Rick
people
now
going
looking
fixing,
like a president after their term, looking like he aged like 15 years gracefully, of course. But
Meanwhile, Michonne has literally looked the same since
But
season
now
3.
he's looking
crazy.
like
I like
Obama
it.
on vacation.
Let me tell you something. If Michonne put on this season 3 outfit and walked into a scene, it would look exactly the same.
oh, 100%. Literally the only thing
Well,
that's
she
different
did
about her
in her
right now is
final
her hair.
episode.
That is the only thing that's different. Everything else looks the same. If anything,
did.
it almost looks better, which doesn't surprise me because she is thriving right now.
Yeah, because I think it denies
Oh,
final
and
episode.
so
she
can
said
we
her
talk about
old
the
outfit
lighting?
Still fit and everything.
Oh my god, the
The
cinematography
lighting-
in these 2 episodes have been fucking phenomenal.
Wait,
Yeah.
'Cause
also,
that
have we
budget-
talked
that
about
budget
this?
is showing.
I was just, you know exactly what I was
The
about to
budget
say.
is
You know, we
budget.
were talking about that budget. They ain't never had
Yeah.
no Game of Thrones budget, but for you to make
Yes.
one of the greatest shows ever, scrummaging around in the dirt in the woods.
You know, I
scary.
was actually surprised to hear Deny in the interview say they ran out of money, but that's how you know big
Wait,
things is
when
coming.
did she
like,
say that?
No, Andy
It
was
one of
the
her
one.
recent.
Andy was the one that kept talking about money too, and she'd be like, "This nigga just got to tell everything." The way
She's
she
like,
looking at
ran
him,
out of money. Like,
he'd be like,
That-
"Can
I
I
mean,
tell
that
them this?"
Inside, right? It was like a proper interview.
it looks great.
He'd be like, "Can I tell them this?" No,
Oh,
like she was not playing with him.
She needs to stop
He-
treating
he's
Andy like
slicker,
he's
though.
Tom Holland. Andy's better than that. Maybe not by
Andy be
much, but he's
excited.
better.
He's like, they're gonna see it next week. Then I was like, no,
Yeah.
like
No,
He's
because
always trying to. That's why he's not allowed to do
I
interviews
think
by
he's just
himself.
so
he will literally tell you what happened.
He's passionate.
He
Because he's
left
so
and he
excited
realized
about
how much
it.
he missed it and how much he loved it.
Yeah.
And now he's giving it 120%.
Denai will literally give you a whole paragraph without spoiling the damn thing.
Yeah, but
That's why-
eloquently versus Scotty G. Scotty G is gonna weave his
He's like, well,
I'm
no,
pretty
first
sure
of all, no,
Scott
you got
is
to do
with
the
me.
head.
Scott's
You got to
autistic,
well,
100%.
you got to do the head. Oh, I've been meaning to say this whole time we've been on here. I kept forgetting. Like Rick and Michonne, like with Scott, it's kind of been healing me a little bit. The way I've been mad at him for some of the stuff he did on Walking Dead. This is kind of like healing me a little bit because I'm like, no, like they really did their big one collaborating on this. Like they really did. So this is kind of healing me. I needed this. I'm gonna
wait till the end of the 6th to say that. I'm putting more stock in Andy and Denai for now.
I think Scott probably had a lot of the connections between the shows.
My stock is solely in Denai. I knew Denai was doing it before Andy was doing it with him.
The dialogue is 100% Denai.
As soon
easily.
as they said Denai was doing it, I didn't give a fuck about nothing else. I said, oh, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
I feel like
That's why every time I
Andy's
sit
been
down
the
to
one
watch,
trying to throw jokes in there.
I'm
Like
already
the line when she was on the horse about like when he was like, oh, so he died on a bridge, and she's like, I feel like that little joke. Andy's like, you should joke with people about how much you miss me and shit. Like he's cheesing about this 100%. I mean, how could you not? It's Denai. How could you not be cheesing?
Right, and I love that they allowed her to go through all the range of emotions. She was allowed to be happy and joke.
Yeah.
Like in the main show, she always dealing with shit. She got to be everybody leader. She got to hold everybody hand. Like
She was
And
always
she was
sweet
having
with
no,
kids.
she used to. We used to get that different side of Michonne with Carl.
Yeah.
I know that was like her Carl and Rick is the only two she really joked with. Daryl sometimes, but Daryl be too serious. Like he ain't gonna give you that
The
banter
extent
back.
of her jokes with Daryl is that he gave me fleas. Like that's about it.
Right.
And the kids, but she didn't really joke around adults. She was always very serious around him. It was very nice
Right.
to see her joking.
And I
around
love
him
that
now.
she was able to, kid around with some people. And like it's because she didn't have as much worry right now. Like the weight of the world is not surrounded by her. Like she's just her. She just got to worry about herself at this
With
moment.
her one mission, she not thinking about
Right.
the kids
Yeah.
this, the kids that, the whole community. She just also Michonne thrives when she's by herself.
Yeah, ain't nobody doing it like her. Like how she had to walk her carry and all that stuff. She like,
I love how now she's like, "Oh, you're
Right,
expecting me to
right.
carry
You
it?"
wanna
And
carry
that's like,
everything. She's
yeah.
like, I'm not carrying that.
Let me tell you
She's
something.
like, I got
When
a trick for that one.
that made me so happy. I was like, oh, you don't know, Michonne not carrying the goddamn thing.
No, she
I love that.
saved every ounce of her
so
strength.
mad that we
Like,
lost our Eugene 2.0. He had some really cool fucking shit.
I
And
wish
that
they could work
backstory that
around
he
that.
gave and the concise amount of time they gave that was one of the best side character backstories we've ever gotten.
I don't know if there's a side character that has ever been developed better than him.
And it was so fast.
In one episode?
Yeah, in one episode.
fucking episode.
And I mean, I obviously I'm sure most of us are giving a lot of credit to the actor too. He did a phenomenal job just making us love him immediately.
He ate.
Like the writing doesn't matter if it doesn't translate well, and it translated so well.
Then I knew what she was doing when she told
And her
him to
keeping
come
that
over here
lighter
with us.
too. Oh, that's gonna come back 100%.
Burn it down.
I think we've been at this for
Oh, yeah,
almost
it's
2
10.
hours.
Jesus.
No, it ain't
We
been
got
2
about
hours
another
yet because
two.
the
We
first,
can keep
the
going.
first, right, the first 10 minutes, the first 10
Nobody
minutes, the
can hear
audio
us.
wasn't even working.
Okay,
so
the
10
first
minutes
5
didn't
minutes
count.
here wasn't working. It didn't take me that long.
Audio wasn't working.
Nuh-uh, 'cause it was
Uh,
okay.
So
Governor,
I
I wasn't
think
here.
we all
That's
know
why.
what needs to happen. Jadis needs to die.
Yeah.
But I
Only
wanted-
if it
but wait,
has a net
But-
positive result.
I wanted to
What-
be a
Slow and
glorious
painful.
death.
What I think is going to
slow and
happen,
painful.
though, is I think Rick's going to try to take advantage of the situation because Jadis, she's an opportunist. So if he
Thank
can
you.
maybe throw seeds of Okafor's plan about overthrowing people and maybe get her into thinking she can have power if we do this, if you help us with this plan, maybe she will go along with it. But you can't never really trust her because season 7 and 8 of the main show showed us she's flipped sides a lot.
Yes.
She's
No,
not to be
she's
trusted.
on her
So-
side.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She's with
So we
whoever
might
she
can
thinks is
use
gonna
that.
win.
We might can use that for a little bit. Like if we can trick her into thinking she can get something out of this.
Yeah, I was gonna
But
say if
then
we
when
can
get
Rick
close to what
doing
we
that.
need, we can kill her.
I don't
We
even
gotta
think
kill
so because her obsession with Rick is just too overbearing for
Want
her.
him
Like
so bad.
she wants a place in because she's been from on WB. She was saying that light of the world nonsense. So she's fully in on that. So I don't think that she would flip on the CRM at this point. But
No,
it's also combine that with her obsession with Rick at the same time. That's what I think. That's what's ultimately going to be her downfall. That she can't let this thing go with Rick. That's
what if Rick acted like he was
gonna.
gonna? No, what if Rick acted like he was gonna finally get her some dick and he stabbed that bitch in her heart?
I saw some people in the comments trying to act like that happened.
Thought you about to
No,
say
no.
something. I don't even watch previews. I don't want to hear nobody say it.
No,
I will
like
exit.
comments for
Bitches leave.
episodes being like, oh, when she said yes, 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 she was referring to their sexy time. I'm like, the fuck you mean? If Rick's gonna,
That's not
first of
what
all,
that
Rick wouldn't
was.
get with someone else, and if he would, it certainly would not be
Not
her.
be her.
That's not what
No.
that was. They was reaching
Yeah, that's
there.
what I'm
but
like.
yeah.
You clearly didn't
She
really
said that
watch
before.
the majority of the show. Like, really? Like, come on.
Clearly, there are people
Like,
that are
you're
watching this
100%
that
just
haven't
trolling.
seen the entire Mothership show.
Yeah, 'cause there's
Clearly.
still a comment in like every comment section that's like, "Oh wait, Rick's alive." And it's like, okay, just tell me you turned off the TV or you
I
just
wonder
read
what
news
his
headlines.
No, tell me now. Mind your business.
Come on.
I be tired of them.
Let me tell you something. I don't give a fuck because
Yes, some Rick.
they got AMC hot right now. More views in years than they've had in years. Okay, so they got AMC.
And they've been
hot
promoting
right now.
it. They said #1 on the network for 2023, 2024.
Let
I
me
was
tell you
like,
something. Every time I go on Instagram and I see Deny post something, I've said the fact that this is real. I still can't even believe this shit is real.
I know.
I need y'all understand.
We got weekly content right now.
The
I need
fact that they
nothing
are
else from television.
thriving miles beyond like Disney right now just makes me so happy
I need
because they
nothing else
deserve
from
it. They have
television
been
for the rest of my
snubbed
life.
so much.
Oh yes.
And I mean, I don't give two fucks about award shows because I think they're fucking stupid regardless. But just for the principle, the fact that they weren't even acknowledged for the impeccable performances that they've been giving the last decade plus is ridiculous.
I think they
Because the
were
people
nominated.
they-
I don't know if it was for an Emmy
Not
for,
nearly
for their costume designs. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm like,
so what? It's like
Like
it's
they
costume
skipped over
design.
the acting.
Yeah,
Which-
it's like,
Yeah.
come on,
Like, I mean, I can understand the aesthetic of the earlier seasons of the show, like the grainy, like people may not think it looks good, but
It looks
they
like what
can't
it's
deny-
supposed to.
Yeah, it
Right.
looks it's a grainy, gritty drama. And I saw some people explaining it in like other reactions, like people that have come back to it, or like people that's like like two people watching and someone came back, one person's been on the train the whole time, and they were explaining how they felt towards the end of The Walking Dead, they were really struggling to break out of that intimate drama and into like a world building, like bigger scale scoped universe type thing. And if it
We
was
got the
going to
budget
continue,
now.
yeah, they needed to do that. And I'm so glad that this actually is giving that feel, because like with Commonwealth, they wanted it to feel really big, and Alexandria and Hilltop and Kingdom weren't ever supposed to be massive. Like we kind of generally got the idea of the size and scale, but Commonwealth never really felt like it had 50,000 people there. Not even close. Maybe 1,000, if that. And that's pushing it. So I feel like the fact that they have what 3-4 times the budget that they have on your normal episodes has helped exponentially, and I'm so
Norman
glad
was
that
taking up half the budget, getting $1 million per episode.
Yeah.
His
Leave
action every
Norman
episode.
alone.
Like,
Honestly.
man,
Ugh.
Norman taking up $16 million a year. I'm like, like, God
and he couldn't
damn.
get some better digs. Like, come on, like those
Don't do
outfits.
that.
He
Norman
already had
Capricorn.
another gig. He had Ryan.
No,
with,
I said
Norman
digs,
got
like
10
his
jobs.
outfits.
Norman, you got to take up half the Walking Dead budget. They could have put that in the Ride with Daryl or whatever the hell his other show was. Like, come on now.
Don't do Norman.
Like,
All right,
I'm just saying, he
we
was
are
hurt.
really getting off track from
Governor,
the
what do you
show.
think?
Could
What do you
leave and
think
let us
if the
keep
governor
going.
was still alive? What do you think he would do about Jadis?
Who cares?
Oh, she would have died a long time ago.
Baby.
You heard me.
Exactly.
First of all,
I
don't
might
know
have
if y'all been
first.
hearing everything she been saying all day, but I've been laughing at everything.
Baby be
she
over
been
there
saying
cutting
all
up.
day.
She's trying to act like
I
we
be
don't.
catching her.
She's not talking loud enough for us to hear. We hear.
No.
So Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying to make
hilarious.
my
I
get your
mean, I
Instagram
probably would have
clips.
hit that, then killed her.
I just
but,
like to know what villains on villains would do. What you think they would do?
Villains on villains? Is
Yeah.
that what
I
you're
mean,
saying?
No, not
The
that.
only-
not that.
The only villain.
That's
on
what
villain,
Governor would have done, though. Let's be fair.
That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Jadis
The
would have been
only-
like, "You look good," and he would have been like, "Yes, I do."
Wait, one thing.
She got gay.
And then
food.
it's who wakes up first with the knife in their hand. That's all.
You sure that's a
What
knife?
happens.
As soon as they showed somebody watching Denai's tape, I said, I know that's Jada's bitch ass. I know it's her.
100%.
Because we ain't say, I knew it.
We haven't
As soon
seen-
as I saw them
Imagine
change
if it was
the scene and it
Heath.
went to a camera. I've been bringing up Heath for months. First of
I
all,
want it
that's
so
a whole
bad.
nother conversation. I knew it was her, and I said, this bitch is back. And I said, I can't wait for Michonne to whoop your ass. Like, I need it personal. Like,
Yeah.
whatever death suits us would be glorious.
I
But
can't wait to
something
see
about
that.
a up close and personal Michonne whooping that bitch.
Yeah.
But
I
I
feel like
will
it's
say,
actually
Thing
gonna
is,
be a
like,
fight.
They
I
gotta
will
make it a
say-
little bit complicated because Michonne would whoop her ass easily. So that's the thing is like, how are we gonna get the complexity in the fight, but also a good gratifying death for her
Yeah.
at the same time?
I don't
She's
care
been
how
getting
they
the same
do it.
training
I
as
think
Rick.
if the governor had come across her in her leader of the junk people days, that community would have been wiped out pretty quick. You know.
No, but he would have did with Michonne. Remember how Rick took that cat from Michonne that she liked? The governor would have been taking shit to decorate with before he killed everybody. He
No,
definitely would have
after.
took some shit to
We
decorate
would
with.
kill him then.
Martinez would have took some golf
stuff.
clubs. Shumpert would have took some new boots. Would have been a
Yeah.
whole little shopping experience.
Yeah, it would have been a.
I do think
A good
Jadis is going to
time.
be a much more formidable fighter now than she was the last time Rick and her scrapped, like mid season 8 when they were like fighting on the ground of the junkyard and Rick like ripped that walker head off and when he was yelling at Okafor, that reminded me of that scene with Jadis where he was like, you know, you could sculpt whatever shit you want, but I'm like that gave me the same energy that he was just done and just pissed and just wanted to get the fuck out of there. I feel like Jadis is going to be, like, everyone's writing it off like, she's, you know, we're going to fucking wipe the floor with their ass. I think she's going to be a little bit more formidable than people are assuming.
Oh,
No,
no, let me tell you
like-
something.
She'll be able to fight, but
I
I just
hope.
feel like her, like, if we need elements to it.
Yeah.
You can't
No,
just
and
be
this is what I'm saying.
the
It's
two of them
Walking
fighting
Dead.
each other. There has
First
to
of
be
all,
like
this
other
is-
walkers. There has to be some sort of something there because, there just got to be something else there.
No.
And that
This is my thing. First of all, it's Walking Dead. I know they not giving it to me easy. I just know that off rip.
Never.
I just need that bitch to die. That's all I need. So as long as she dies,
And we gotta
I'll be like,
lure
okay.
her somewhere where there ain't other soldiers and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So
Yeah.
it's
That'd
gonna
be
be a
so
little
hard.
Hopefully, it's
tricky.
not another Pamela situation.
So
I mean, honestly,
Oh
I feel like
yeah.
the entirety of
yeah.
CRM, like, I've made a lot of long-winded comments about it on, like, Twitter and YouTube and stuff, but I feel like long-term...
Long-winded? No.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, right? Long-term, I'll talk Jadis. Long-term, good thing. Culling facilities, good thing. Right people, right places, good thing. Get rid of the rotten, shitty people, good thing. Install our people, right places, good thing. Build the world back up. Like the whole culling thing in World Beyond seemed like a really good idea in theory and in application. Like
And
it doesn't
that's-
seem like a bad idea to try to dwindle the walker population. And if we get people that aren't genocidal maniacs in charge, then maybe we could actually build up some additional communities and make some progress.
I got a question.
wait, can I say something real quick to
I
what he
got a
just said?
question. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that sound all fine and dandy. We that.
But we never get
But-
it fine and dandy here.
The time is it's pressing because this nigga got a son and he don't know it. So I have a sense of urgency to get back to the house. Like we could sit here and completely redo CRM and that'll take years. They got kids.
I'm
Cheer-
not saying to do that in this season, but
They got
I know they're
cheering.
not doing reunions in this season. There's no fucking shot they're gonna have him go back to Alexandria in this season.
You don't know
No
that,
shot.
sir. Did you guess that they were gonna meet in the first episode? Did you guess that before you watched
I
it?
said
Right.
second, but
So I mean, come on now, they getting to it. So
Okay.
we need
gotta
to
at
get
least
back
give
to
me a
the
radio
room.
check.
Serena, what's your
All right,
question?
so here's
The
my
glove
my
is down.
question. This is my question. Do you guys think that Jadis really has a kill file in case something happens to her?
I think that
Explain.
would be smart of
I've
her.
never heard that.
No, but I'm sure she has a friend. somebody who does know things, and that is a fail.
Basically has, do not open this unless I'm dead.
Oh,
if I'm
yeah,
dead,
yeah.
open this up.
It's probably Silas.
That's what I'm about to say.
Do we think we're gonna get anyone higher up than Beale to get like a sense of like more of a hierarchy going on? Because he didn't really seem that formidable, and for an actor of that caliber and notoriety, you would think that there would be a bit. And obviously, we still have 4 episodes, so I mean, there's more that we can see from him. But Jada seemed far more intimidating than Beale did, based on the interactions we had.
Because she know Rick. That's why.
Oh yeah, and
she like, oh, you think you gonna
and
leave
she's
me 'cause
trying
your
to be
woman
menacing.
I think Beale's a tactician. You know what I mean? I think
He
his
reminds me
strength is
a
his
lot of
mind.
Pope, minus going fucking
Pope-
nuts.
He
Pope is
gave me
trash.
Daniel Salazar, calm and collected. You don't even know that I can fuck
Before
you
the
up.
dementia,
That's what
yes.
he gave me.
Yeah,
Right, because he already had an inkling about Okafor, and he already knew what Rick was going to say. He's a tactician.
That's why he said it at the same time. And no.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm like you said, that Terry O'Quinn is such an amazing actor, and we've seen so little of him so far. And I'm interested in seeing what Bill's plan is behind the scenes, because he obviously know Okafor was up to something. He knows that
He just
Thorne
don't know that
and,
Rick
and
know.
Grimes, he knows that Thorne and Grimes are possibly in on whatever this plan is going forth. So it's like, if you know these things, you know that these things are going on. What are you doing behind the scenes to circumvent this? And then what's your aim? What is your goal? Because you're allowing it to happen to some extent. So where does he think he's going to be able to pivot that for his needs? That's the thing about it.
And who's making the final or the definitive calls and plans for these mass execution, like when they wipe out the cities? Because I don't know for sure if it's always him or directly him, because
I thought it was Huck Mama. I thought
I thought initially
she reports to
but
Beale.
She in jail.
I was gonna say she reports to Beale, but Beale seemed to be very against the stuff that Okafor broke from, like when they were bombing Atlanta and LA, and then he turned on wanting to bomb another entire city and just killed the Marines instead. It seemed like Beale was happier that was the decision that was made rather than bombing that whole city. So I feel like he's going to be more complex than he's come off so far. I feel like there's got to be more.
Because you're like, where was that switch with him? If he appreciated that Okafor turned and killed the 4,000 people, including his wife, at the stadium, and left Philadelphia alive, where does he switch to now be okay with destroying other communities of the same size?
Or are people going behind his back to do it? Because that would be an interesting thing. Like, as much as I want Jadis to be have more depth and be like our Dwight, it would be pretty interesting if he Beale ended up being like our Dwight or our Trojan. Like, somehow we were able to turn him and use him to help get to Jadis or something, maybe. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some hierarchy of people at the summit. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be people that are with us and then people that we're going against. We're going to have to, obviously we don't know a lot of the people yet, but I feel like in the next 2 episodes, we're probably going to get a good idea of who's going to be with us and who's not. And Thorne's going to be another one where she's going to be kind of up in the air.
I hate that bitch.
Yeah, really? I'm with her.
I hate that bitch.
I think we can sway her, maybe, once she finds out the truth.
All right, people were
We
talking
can
about
find
that.
out in all the episodes that's coming up.
Yeah, people were talking about that, whether they think Dorn is possible for you to be able to swing her. The problem with Dorn, because there would have been that possibility to turn her, but the fact that you got recruited by Okafor for the purpose of usurping the CRM, and then for you to immediately, when you see the bombing of Omaha, you're like, Portland needs to get in line. I'm like,
so irritating. She don't know what the fuck she want to do. That's the problem.
Are you with Okafor's plan
She gave
anymore,
up.
or are you with Bill's plan now? Like, what are you planning on doing?
No,
And the
she
fact
goes
that also-
between Okafor, Bill, and whoever her loved one is that she was telling Rick she can't go back to her, so you ain't going back to yours.
Mm-hmm.
She don't know what
And
the
that's
fuck
why I was
she
like,
wanna
she's
do.
a hater.
Yes.
From when she threw that glass at Rick and said, "Oh, well, now I know I can't get away." First of all, remember, she never says that she tried to escape the CRM. All of her escape attempts were before Okafor found her on that boat.
And mind
so once
you,
she got
Rick
to the
don't
CRM,
talk to
she's
nobody.
in. She's been in.
And Rick don't talk to nobody. So first of all, my introduction to her, to meet her like that, I'm like, oh, I don't like this bitch. First of all, why are you littering? That's number one. Why are you littering?
Exactly. I don't like
No,
that either.
Don't like her. And her accent is very
all
hard
of
on
this,
my ears.
I was going to say,
It's like she got six,
it's a little rough.
I
for
swear
me.
to God, it's 6 accents in one. I can't take it. It's very
Oh
hard.
no.
Like we got a lot of varying accents in the States, but that one's tough. All of this is more reasoning why there's no shot they're not going to do a second season. Because one, this is way too popular. Two, they could make this
It's gonna be
story
a while.
so much better if they had 12 instead of 6. Especially the
would've.
fact that all of them are almost an hour. That's
I hope if they
nuts.
do a
No,
second
but you
season,
know what
we'll
I
get more
saw that they
episodes.
said? No, somebody literally asked them, because I've been eating up all the Andy and Deny content. Somebody literally asked, was it easier to have more episodes or was it harder? They were saying it's actually kind of easier to have more episodes because you can have those bottle episodes and you can spread everything out. When you got 6, you got to be like, okay, what is everything we need to put in here? And
Right.
we gonna
I
put
do love that.
everything in
Yeah, they
here.
got to be
Pacing
tight.
is great.
Yeah, and
But I
it's,
think
it's a
they'll
very
probably, if
fine
they do a
line
second
between
season, they might meet in the middle.
rushed.
They
Yeah.
might
Well,
get
guys,
I'm not
Guys,
opposed to a second season.
I
I'm
know,
eating it up.
I wants to
but
go.
Wrap it up.
I have to go to work in the morning.
I do too.
You know, and I have to eat, and I have to finish editing my reaction so I can put it out. You know.
Oh, mine already up.
Well,
Yeah, but I was
la-di
within
da
the first 12 hours.
No, mine
First
already
10,
up.
really.
And I
Governor,
watched
you
the 6th Harry
slacking.
Potter movie today. Literally. That's so
Excuse
good.
me, I'm
Are
fucking
you going to
sick as a
be
dog.
posting on Insta about
So
it?
you're lucky I'm actually here. I actually
hope you get well
considered.
soon.
I actually
Aw.
considered, you know, just turning it over and not even showing up and turning it over to you guys to run by yourself, which means it would probably go for 3 more hours.
And,
But, you know,
and people would be in the chat with us. That's
And
what's
they would be
crazy.
right with us.
And you would have had a nice super chat check.
For
when you
real.
got
We
back.
kept this bitch going.
I mean, we still got 68 people in here with us.
That's so funny.
Good.
well, I appreciate all of you out there, and it's 71 right now. But, as I can see on the back end. But, yeah, final thoughts quickly, and shameless self-promotion, and we are going to end this, and then you guys can talk among yourselves all you want. Karina, why don't you start us off?
I love this episode. This show is the best of the whole fandom, the whole universe. Andy and Denai love us, and it's very obvious. And we're eating. Our hearts are full, and I cannot wait for the next episode. 2D Tourist on Twitter. See you over there talking about Andy and Denai and all of the love that they give us.
All right, Jack, since you didn't get to intro, get to outro.
Jack's World, pretty much everywhere. I also was a very big fan of this episode. I won't be long-winded. Don't worry. Justice for Nat. Let's kick ass, take names, and get home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Michond?
As I will continue to reiterate, I need nothing else from television. I get my favorite TV show. I get a love story. Everything that I love, I have no complaints. My spirit has been fed. If there's never a good TV show for as long as I live, I'm fine because I have this. And go to talkingetv.com. I'm putting up Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince right now. It's already uploaded. And the reaction to this episode already went up, so love that.
Tomaj?
To piggyback off everybody, our hearts are full. We're getting everything we've ever wanted, everything we've ever needed. Andy and Denai, they just absolutely love us, and it's evident. I just love getting more Rick and Michonne. You know, we've got their individual episodes now. We're getting nothing but them together, working to get home to their family, because one thing about The Walking Dead, it's all about family, except if you're on fear, then it's just fuck everybody. But regardless of that, this show is about love at the end, and love always prevails. So regardless, I know we're going to get to what we need to get to. And check me out on my channel, Big Bro Lil Sis Reacts, all the Walking Dead. You can get over there.
All right. Baby.
Well, I gotta say, you know, with Dead City, it was the start. With Daryl Dixon, you know, was the prophecy, and then here comes Jesus with the Walking Dead, the ones who
Come
live.
on, somebody.
And they put on 2 incredible episodes. I mean, got you thinking, got you loving people. At the end of the day, you still gotta believe and move the freak on to get to the promised land. But anyway, y'all can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, DM_mayhem. My bad. So see y'all next Monday.
Alex.
I'm just blown away by how beautiful and cinematic these mini movies are that we're getting. I'm loving every second of it, thriving off of it. And I absolutely can't wait to see what's to come. I really hope the next episode is a Jadis episode. I feel like it's unpopular opinion, but I'm thankful that she saved Rick in one way or another. When you think about it, Andy wanted to leave, and this was the best way they could do that. And if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't still have him alive. He needed help right away, and he got it. And I can't wait to see where we go with that. So very excited to keep going, of course, and I'll be here on Monday nights with you guys, and I am on YouTube with TWD Mombie as well as Instagram. You can catch me there as well, and I will be reacting every week, and I'm very happy that YouTube's letting me do it this time.
Fun.
And Joy.
Yes.
So, yep, Joy from Brooklyn, Joyful First on Twitter. We have Noir Nerdy. We're going to have our spoiler-free piece up about episode 3 tomorrow. So follow us. We're like on most social media. But if you go there, you'll see that. Still sell my candles. Still writing my fanfic. And I'm just like everybody else here. I'm so excited for this to come together. You know, it felt like when we were waiting all those years that like I never gave up faith. I knew it was happening. And I was like, I'm going to wait as long as we have to wait, and I'm going to be there. And I'm just so excited that it's here now and that it's brought back the fandom and it's brought back the energy of The Walking Dead. And I am hoping for a season 2 and a movie.
Ooh, and a movie.
Yep. Talk it up.
Or a season 3. You never
Tell
know.
a friend.
Yeah.
And of course, I am the governor.
Nominations.
Heavy on the nominations.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
And of course, I am the governor, and it is nice to see that these TW episodes can once again make us love people and ruthlessly kill them right before our eyes. So, you know, it's good that we're back to that. No one is safe except, of course, the 2 main characters, because I don't think that they would kill off either of them, at least not before
God
episode
willing.
6. But, yeah, and of course, see me here on Fandom Spotlight. My reaction would have been up sooner if the stream had ended sooner, but now I gotta go finish that while I stuff my face and eat while being sick. So it's a.
Aw.
Oh, you sick?
I'm not slacking. I'm just sick. You know.
Hope
Got
you
all
feel
kinds
better.
of tissues.
Yeah, feel
Thank
better.
you. Gotta go freebase more Dayquil and yeah.
I don't know what that means.
You don't know what Dayquil is?
Free base. I don't know what that means.
Anyway, I'm not gonna explain it. Go Google it, and then you'll get funny
Google
looks
it.
from
No,
the
y'all
government.
ain't gonna fuck up my internet suggestions.
You'll start getting. Do you need to go to rehab? Because we can help. Yeah, I just looked up both mustard gas and chlorine gas, so I'm sure Homeland Security is going to be knocking on my door pretty soon.
Now you're the only one.
Probably not. Hopefully they don't knock on it too soon. Gotta hide shit. But anyways, thanks everyone out there for joining us. Thanks for everyone for your super chats, and thanks to my fellow panelists for their keen observations and nonstop chatter, because that's what we're here for. And the smirky comments by Bebe are always appreciated. And that smile. We will see everyone next week. Governor and this amazing crew, we are out. Everybody look awkward.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.